Hey Shackers, welcome back to another episode of This Week in Switch 2, where we predict Mario trailers before they drop and then drop our podcast after the Mario trailer drops, making our podcast kind of outdated last week. But hey, this week I'm sure nothing will happen after we post this. No news whatsoever. But if you missed our the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer 1, and analysis, reaction, and breakdown. We did post a separate video for that because it demanded an emergency podcast of sorts. We didn't label it This Week in Switch 2 because it was literally just about one thing. But yeah, if you missed that, please go watch that. We might touch on it a little bit here because I know we haven't had a chance to talk to Greg about that. But we have other movie news in the Nintendo Cinematic Universe that we will get to here in a second. But first, there are 44 days left in Doug Bowser's reign of terror at Nintendo of America. We don't actually mean anything negative by that, but his last name's Bowser, bad guy, all that stuff. I'm your host, Awesome Khan. I'm CEO, Editor-in-Chief, EIEIO here at Shacknews, which stands for Extremely Intelligent Extreme Intelligence Officer. In a time of artificial intelligence, we have invented an even buzzier buzzword, extreme intelligence. And then also an old McDonald reference. I'm joined by my usual co-hosts. We have news editor Donovan Erskine here.
What's up? I'm proud of how I ended the last episode because I was like, if you're wondering why we aren't reacting to the Mario movie trailers, because it hasn't been announced at the time of recording this.
You nailed it.
It happened right after.
Monkey paw curled. You nailed it. I'm also joined here by my other co-host. You guys have swapped places again from last week, so you're back to your usual orientation in the video here. We have head of long reads, David Craddock here. Who didn't post a long read last week, so I guess he's slacking.
I am slacking. What the hell?
after 3 bangers in October. And then, head of video over here. Greg Burke is joining us.
I'm alive. I'm happy to decide in real time what hats I'm going to give you this week.
I have this hat on here, but you can maybe put a Link hat on me because we're going to be talking about Zelda here very shortly.
Kirby hat. There's lots of different Mario hat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Kirby's coming out. That's this week, right? This Thursday. That's exciting.
Donovan reviewed it. He reviewed it. He could talk about it.
Not yet.
He has it. He's played it. He's the man.
He won't talk about it. We're posting this on Tuesday, most likely. So I don't think you can talk about. I don't know, Donovan. You can let me know if you can talk about Kirby or not. But the big news broke on Nintendo Today, right? The true everything app, if we're being honest, David, right? Like everything Zelda. So last weekend, some photos appeared of the Legend of Zelda film. Someone was hiding in a bush and took a picture of a couple of the actors. And Nintendo hates leaks. Maybe more than any other company right now.
Yeah.
So we got official pictures of the Legend of Zelda film on Nintendo Today and then shortly after on social media, showcasing the actors playing Zelda and Link. There's 3 pictures. One of them shows Zelda holding a bow and arrow. And then, a couple of just showing Link. I'd say they both look great. They look like the characters. I'm excited that it's filming. They're filming it in New Zealand, Donovan, which is where all the epic films are shot. There's all those cool scenery backgrounns and
Lord of the Rings, baby. People still have their weddings at the Shire where they shot that movie. So.
Yeah,
it's on my bucket list. I want to go there before I die.
And
there you go.
New Zealand's just cool in general. There's a lot of nature over there. It's just an interesting place. I haven't been there either, Greg, but it definitely seems like a bucket list kind of place. During the COVID lockdown, Gabe Newell was posted up there. He was just kind of living in New Zealand during the pandemic. And then he made his way back to America. We'll get to what Gabe's been up to later in the show. But Zelda movie. Very little information, but we know that it's filming. And we know it's still on track for a May 2027 release?
May 7th, 2027, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good.
It is.
I'm happy to hear that.
I'm excited for this. I think these pictures look good. Obviously, you can't really judge anything off of set photos, but they look good. They look like the characters. I will say, whoever those dudes were that leaked the BTS footage, rookies. Because in the videos, they show their faces. They're because they're sitting in a tree, and they're like, hey, we're on the set secretly of the Zelda movie, and I'm like, you put your face in this video. I was like, they're not gonna let you make it back home. But that aside, I think this looks cool. I think it's interesting that this might have been kind of Nintendo trying to control you never want anyone's first look at something to be on an iPhone from bushes or in a tree. But I think this looks good. I like the images we've seen here. And
What I
Breath
love
of
is
the
the
Wild Zelda, it looks like.
Oh yeah, well it does, but I was just gonna say, Donovan, there looks to be kind of a contrast. Like Zelda is in her Breath of the Wild outfit, but Link looks like the hero of time. He's got the more traditional, the green tunic, the white trousers, the brown boots. So it could be, Twilight Princess Link, Ocarina of Time Link, brand new Link, but they went with the more traditional look, which I'm a fan of personally. More
Who's
of a
to
fan.
say that isn't the 8-bit Link?
Yeah,
Could be.
You know what I mean? Like,
Could be.
why?
well, because that one didn't wear pants. That's how I know.
Okay, well, look, it was 8-bit, man. They blew the budget out of the tunic, and also error. No,
Yeah.
it's far too early for us to be like, that's Breath of the Wild. That's
But this
whatever.
is part of the fun. This is part of the fun.
I
right?
understand
It's
that.
fun.
I understand that. But going back to the Mario trailer last week, we saw Toast Arena. And you remember, Donovan, I was like, Cappy? Huh? Cappy?
Yeah.
They have the Super Mario Galaxy movie at a location straight from Odyssey, characters straight from Odyssey. Like, I don't think Nintendo has this religion about its IP that a lot of its fans do.
No.
Like, it's like, hey, we're going to celebrate this franchise with all these cool references. So I think that might be what we see with Zelda. But to me, the thing that I'm very certain of is that this is an origin story for these two characters. We're going to learn about Link. He's going to probably come up here from that kid, the guy in Kakariko Village, right? Just regular dude who becomes the hero, right? That was the first Mario movie. Was regular guy, plumber, Brooklyn, becomes Super Mario, right? So like, I feel like we already know how Nintendo's going to handle this, where this is an origin story. This is going to set up set pieces, Greg, which I think you highlighted in the Mario film. It was like, this is just boom, boom, boom. Here's all these amazing set pieces. Here's how you build out a universe. I think we're going to see that same thing happen here with the Zelda film. So like, it's not that I don't care what story it is. I honestly just want them to tell a story. Like, let's tell a story in this universe with these characters. Now, can it reference Breath of the Wild? Sure. I'm sure it will, because they want to sell copies of their games, right? But, like, I can't just look at Zelda and be like, oh, that's what this is, and I'm going to jump to conclusions. Like, she has a bow and arrow. Were those light arrows? Didn't look like it. But then again, it's on the set before CG is added. Because, like, she does use arrows, right, David? Like, there is this...
She does, and she used the bow and arrow in the cartoon as well. So
Yes.
perhaps that's canon. Oh.
Excuse me, princess, but yeah, like if that's if it's all canon, like he has to say, well, excuse me, princess, at least once in
Put
this
it on a
film.
T-shirt. They keep saying it until they get it merchandising right.
I'm telling you, man, like they will do something that corny here, because like I feel like there's going to be even if it's like just like a throwaway line, like he like steps on her foot or something. He's like, well, excuse me, princess. Like, they can do it in a way where it's like a wink and a nod to fans, but also just kind of like, if you're a young kid experiencing this for the first time, you're not going to be like, oh, I remember that 1989. Like, no one's going to, like, this is the point of these films is to expand the knowledge of the IP beyond gamers, right? So it's like, this has to be something that tells a compelling story. It doesn't have to be religious about what timeline it's in. Because you're right, David. One looks like Breath of the Wild. One looks like the Hero of Time. So it's like, talk about two of my favorite Zelda games right there.
Right. And to be clear, I'm not saying, oh, this is Link from this timeline. I'm saying as a point of reference,
Yeah.
he looks like he's wearing the da-da-da-da-da outfit.
Yeah.
Right? And Zelda looks like this outfit. So I don't know, but I'm with you. I want a wholly original story that's probably going to reference some of the games. How can it not, really? And I'm excited for this. Like, I know we're still, a year and a half away, but Zelda is my favorite Nintendo IP, and I'm pretty stoked for this. I really like we got a close up. I can't remember if we got a close up of both actors, but we got a close up of Link, and they just nailed his look, like the piercing blue eyes, the hair, the kind of the windswept hair.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm excited for this.
No,
Fantastic.
Yeah, and like it's not that I don't care about the stories in these games. Like I maintain that Tears of the Kingdom is better than Breath of the Wild, largely due to the story and how that affected gameplay. But I don't know, you might disagree, David, but like, and I think you do, but like, Breath of the Wild would be a shitty movie. I'm sorry, it would. It's just Link walking around alone, Zelda stuck in the castle for 100 years. Like, one thing we see here is that Zelda is not some damsel in distress. She's got a freaking bow and arrow. Like, good. Like, I hate that narrative that, oh, you gotta save the princess, right? Like, no. We saw that in the Mario movie. Princess Peach was like a leader, right? She was like, I think that there's an opportunity to not fall into the tropes of the early Zelda games with this film, right? So like building a character, making like a really strong woman as the centerpiece of this whole franchise. But yeah, like I want references to all these different games. I'd love to see an ocarina. Obviously, we're going to see the Lost Woods, right? Like there's all these Death Mountain, right?
Yeah.
There's these
Ocarina or Riot. Yeah, we have to see the ocarina at least in passing.
or like a reference to it, right? Like because time travel has been in a lot of these games, or even like you think about the Mirror Dark World in Link to the Past, right, David? Like there's these foils or these different items that inform gameplay and story in several of these games. It's like, I can't wait to see what they choose to take from where, but the whole point of this is going to be to introduce a whole new generation to this franchise that may not love it as much as we do, right? Like, I think it was Apogee on Twitter, they're like, what was the game that got, like, made you fall in love with video games? I'm like, the gold cartridge. Like, that was it, David. Like, 1986, gold cartridge. I was like, oh my God, I love video games. This is my favorite thing ever, right? And it was just... I bothered my parents for like a year until we got the NES, and that was like the game, right? Like, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play this game because I was a little kid, like I sucked at it, but like I was just like, I'm gonna play this game forever. And then you got Nintendo Power and those guides in Nintendo Power, those maps in Nintendo Power. Like,
you know what's funny? They called those reviews. A review was actually a walkthrough. That was their idea of a review. That's just an aside, but it's funny how the vernacular of our industry has changed.
Yeah, it would be on the cover, like Zelda review, and you're like, that's that's not a review, and you're the company that owns the game, so you shouldn't be reviewing it anyway. But yeah, it was like before games media, really.
Yep. You're gonna do the same thing that they did. Iron Man's a really good example of this because as someone who read that comic, so like that movie took elements of Ultimate Iron Man, Silver Age Iron Man, Golden Age Iron Man, like all the different Iron Mans, and kind of threw them in a blender and kind of like had like a little bit sprinkled out of everything sprinkled throughout. Mario movie was the same way. Like, can you argue what Mario game that takes place? Right, it has the raccoon suit, so that's 3, but it also has like Bowser, like it has like all these. It had Yoshi in the background.
That wasn't
like,
a raccoon suit. That was Tanuki Mario.
Sorry, Tanuki Mario. Yeah.
Yeah, which is also Mario 3. But yeah, like right. there was references to the first Mario game. There's a very late reference to Mario World in it. I think the clown car is in it. Yeah, there was in this recent Mario trailer, Greg, the song that Bowser's humming to himself at the very beginning of the trailer. It's his entrance music in the boss battle for Mario 64, David. I was like, it's why I could sit there and watch the Mario movie like 100 times, right? Because there's so many references in it. I think we'll see the same thing done in Zelda, where it's, if you don't know, you're still going to enjoy it. But if you do know, you're going to be like, oh my God, the fan service is crazy in this. And that's what I think they nailed with the Mario movie. I hope they do it with the sequel as well. But I think like that's what we're going to see here, is a celebration of the whole Zelda franchise, but done in a way where it introduces the world to these characters in a way where they can probably make 9 movies. Because this is their Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh yeah, this is the beginning,
So like, I guess, I don't know, like where in the timeline, what the like equivalent would be, like The Hobbit. I don't know where exactly this falls, but a lot of their early messaging for this was NES. It was like The Legend of Zelda. Here's the Triforce mythology, right? Because the Triforce has kind of been put aside, David. Like, it's not as big of a deal in...
Not the driving force anymore, yeah.
No, but it's at the core of every story, right? Power, wisdom,
we have
courage.
The personification of power, wisdom, and courage, right? Link, Zelda, and Ganon are the mainstays. So
and that's
the personifications.
And then there's this whole story of rebirth and death, right? And like, not every single hero has a lovely ending to their story, which I think Skyward Sword kind of highlights.
Right.
And even Zelda goes through some crazy shit in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, right? So like, I think they're going to take this opportunity to like make these characters that you care about. But yeah, I'm glad that they grabbed the narrative back from the people leaking those images. Miyamoto, they hate leaks at Nintendo.
Yeah.
They hate leaks. So
they
like,
were
this
totally
is
strong-armed into releasing this today, I think.
It wasn't strong-armed. They were just like, we're furious. We're going to put out our own picture, and it's going to look better than their bullshit picture.
Better than the iPhone pictures.
And the fact that they put it on Nintendo today just highlights how mad they were, Greg. They're like, screw your stupid blue checkmark bullshit. Come over to our app, which isn't even monetized, right? They just want you on their app. Like, they're just like, we're tired of this bullshit. We're tired of people chasing clout. And they also kind of had a rough weekend for a whole other reason that we can get to here in a second, regarding our buddy Myles McKenzie. But yeah, I'm excited, man. David, like, I think Zelda is my favorite IP at Nintendo too, and it's like not always about the story. It's the story that you tell while you play it. Like, going back to the original game, like, we were in grade school, right? Like, every lunch period, we would all get, like, all my friends and I would get together, and we would just talk about where we are in Zelda, like, what we did, like, how did you get past that dungeon, where'd you find that thing, like, you talk about immersion gameplay, like, and the storytelling that happened. Like, this franchise has always been about that. So it's like, and it's put you in the role of the hero, but the unexpected hero, right? Like, much like Mario. Like, these are two characters that had no chance. Like, how's Bowser gonna lose to this little plumber, right? And even in the movie, she's like, wow, you're human, but you're so small, right? Like, so, like, I can't wait to see that same thing here, because, like, in a lot of the Zelda games, Link has to prove his value to the king or to Zelda or to his village, to his uncle, whoever, right? So, like, sometimes he's not even trying to. It's just, like, the path of the hero. So I think we're going to get to see that here. But I do think this is, like, it may not be a financial success. I think it will. But, like, if it is, I think this is the one where we are going to get a lot of stories told, right? Like, it's going to be built for multiple movies. Because
that all stems from, like, David and Goliath, like that, right, David? Like, all those stories of, like, the underwhelming here, the underdog versus the person who's stronger who comes out victorious. That stems from that, right? All that writing kind of gets inspired and changes to that kind of story in its primordial form. Excuse me.
Yeah,
primordial. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. But yeah, I think one reason you kind of hit the nail on the head, Osif, where I think one reason Zelda appealed to me at my stage, we're roughly the same age. You're like a year older, I think. But Link was our age on this adventure, right? He was just a kid. And that's appealing. The idea that a kid can stand up to these evil forces and be a hero. And I'm kind of wondering, these screenshots got me thinking, pie in the sky, what is one little Easter egg or reference or character you'd love to see in this movie? For me, I feel like Zelda and Link will eventually get separated. They'll be on separate paths that converge. But, like, I would love to see a fairy companion. And not necessarily for the whole movie, but if they threw in a Navi or a Tattle or something, I think that would be kind of cool.
Or try.
We talked about this before the show. Will Link talk?
Link's gonna talk.
Oh, he's gonna talk. He has to talk.
Link has to talk. It's a feature-length film.
Yeah.
Like, Link's gonna talk. And, like, this whole Link never talks nonsense. He talks in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. He doesn't have a voice, but, like, it's very much like Pokemon Legends, Diamond, where you do talk, right? It might not matter what you say.
Just don't hear it,
yeah, but, like, even, like, you have two options a lot of the time, even in Breath of the Wild. but it's like it's just kind of in there. Like maybe it adds like one more string of dialogue before you get to the point, but like it's not consequential. But at the same time, there is a lot of humor in how Link engages with different characters throughout the franchise history. But yeah, he might be a little more quiet. Like I could see them building up to a moment where he says something. Like early on in the movie, it's like he's not saying anything, and then like he finally says something. I could see that be a moment that they take advantage of. But yeah, of course he's gonna talk. Of course he's gonna talk. That would be the most boring movie ever if it's just Zelda talking to him and he goes just like a puppy dog. He's just a golden retriever nodding the whole time. Like that's not going to be entertaining. Like they're going to make a good movie here. I don't think a silent protagonist in a film works as well as it does in video games. Like Doom guy doesn't need to talk unless he's skateboarding for some reason. Samus barely talks.
Gordon Freeman would talk in a Half-Life movie. Like,
yeah,
that's another example, right? He'd have to.
Yeah, exactly, David. Gordon would have to talk in a Half-Life movie, and while we're at it, they should make a Half-Life movie. But no, that would be great. Call it Half-Life 3, even though it's the first movie, just to troll everyone. But
Half-Life
no, like
3, the movie coming soon.
But yeah, like
right
I do. Yeah, back to your question though, David. Like, what character would I like to see in the Zelda movie? I agree with what you said about like a fairy or a Navi companion or a Tri even. I do think
there's so many things in that world. Yeah,
I kind of want to see that A Link to the Past is a game that I love, and I think it's beginning, like the opening part of that game is like really really good. I'd like to see like a family member of Link, like his uncle or like one of the elders in his village or whatever. I think that would be kind of cool. And they could do it Disney style. But they could do it like Disney style and kill his uncle in like the first 10 minutes, right? But like, because that's a very Zelda thing to do. Like something horrible happens early on. There's a calamitous event or whatever. You want to see a Guardian, Donovan?
I do. I want to see a Guardian. I want there to be a scene where I hear the music from Breath of the Wild when the Guardians spot you. I want to see the red laser like
and then tracking
his chest. Yeah, he's got to like dive behind like a boulder, a tree, or something. It could be like a fun little action set piece where him and Zelda are like running.
He has to drop the shield and reflect it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be like a cool like becoming like the hero moment? He's just like, holy shit, I'm about to get blasted. He just goes.
That would be awesome. I want. This isn't a character, but the fanfare music when you open a treasure chest. I need to hear that in this movie. I need to see them open a treasure chest, and I need to hear that when it happens. That's
got to be in there.
Not a character, but I would argue is a character now. I want to see the Master Sword, the mythology of the Master Sword.
Iconic.
What would be the boldest thing they could do? You don't use the Master Sword at all until the post-credit scene. That sets up the obvious sequel, right? Like, oh wow, you see the sword in the plinth. That would be like, I want to see it too. But I think a really bold move and a way to like shout from the rooftops that this is a franchise, you save the Master Sword, or at least save it until the end. He has to go on some quest to get it, right?
It's like The Force Awakens with Luke Skywalker. Like, Luke Skywalker was talked about the whole movie, and then you see him at the very end with the lightsaber he throws over his shoulder.
Right. I did like that idea, though. Yeah, if it's like a thing that they talk about, maybe it's referenced by a bunch of characters to him, and they kind of build it up, and it's at the very end of the movie. It's like not necessarily a cliffhanger, but like the tease, right? Of like, we finally found it.
Or it's like, it's missing, right? I'm curious about like the world itself. Will there be Sky Islands? Will there be the depths?
Oh gosh,
right? Yeah. How are they going to handle that? I think the king will be in this most likely. Like the thing that we're not seeing a lot of right now are other characters, right? Like we don't know. Are we dealing with Ganon? Yeah. Are we dealing with Ganondorf? Are we dealing with Calamity Ganon? Right? Are we dealing with the Demon King? We don't know.
We did see one of the Sheikah people in the leaks footage, like one of her bodyguards.
Yeah, Impa was in one of the leaked shots.
We don't know if is it Impa or is it just a Sheik? We don't know if it's Impa.
It's definitely Impa. I would bet money that it's Impa.
Yeah. So, we're going to get there's more characters that have to be announced and actors for those characters that have to be announced. I think that they're trying to thread this needle right now where it's like, yes, we want to hype up the Zelda movie, but we got this other movie coming out in April. So it's like, pay attention to this movie, not this movie. And then after we make $1 billion off the Mario movie, then we can point you at this one again. Like, it's just, it's not time. And like, I don't think I'm going to get spoiled, but like, I just want to watch the movie when it comes out. And like, I hate all the clout farming and shit on the internet these days. And the monetization of Twitter has really amplified that, where it's like, you don't even have to have a good take anymore, just as long as it gets engagement, right? And it's like, boy, does that lead me to this. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to say about the Mario movie, but I have some thoughts on Metroid that I'd like to share here. I think people are overreacting about Myles McKenzie, Donovan. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, me too.
Like, the crash out.
Engineer? Is that his name?
Yes. The crash out on the... Exactly. The fact that I even know this jaboofer's name now. Like, we didn't even call him by name in our videos. We're just like, meet the engineer. It was one of, like, 10 videos that we posted. Like, you know what happened in the other 9 videos we posted, David? Gameplay. What a concept. Oh, my God. A Metroid Prime game with cool gameplay. Whoa. Nobody talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the control shot, Donovan, and how cool that is of a mechanic, and how you couldn't beat that boss without using it. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this one cutscene at the beginning of a game and act like this is the end of the franchise entirely. Ridiculous.
It's like the algorithm thrives off controversy and hot takes and nothing else.
Yeah, but like these people look like idiots over the long arc of time, man. Like. And, like, there's some content creators I actually respect that were acting like idiots this week. Where it's like, I don't know, did you see the Arlo crash out? Like, Arlo was screaming, you know, little puppet guy. You guys know who Arlo is? Mm-hmm. You don't know who Arlo is, Donovan?
I don't think so.
He's just blue. He looks like a Muppet. Anyway.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
This guy is, like, a talented puppeteer. He also does, like, a lot of just reaction videos where it's a puppet on screen. So he's like screaming about how this isn't his Metroid. They ruined it and like all these things. And I'm like, you're focused on like 3 minutes of an hour-and-a-half demo that you played, Donovan, right? Like it's not. Yeah. And the other thing I noticed, David, if you don't like the dialogue, you can literally mute it in game. It's like something that you can just turn off the radio so you don't have to hear it at all. So it's like, is this going to ruin the game for me? No. But it's not unlike the beginning of Doom, where, you know, the guy talking to you, you smash the tablet and you get on with the game, right? Like, Samus, Doom guy, Gordon Freeman, there's a ton of voiceless protagonists in games that have NPCs that talk to them from time to time. It's not the end of the world, people. But the actual gameplay looks good. Like,
I would like to say it's funny you mentioned that also because all of our gameplay videos did like not very well, but on average that one video did 4,400% more views and has 306 comments, and most of the other video game videos haven't even been looked at.
That's
what we're talking about.
I mean, that is what people are talking about. That was the thing that was trending. My point is, I watched all the other videos, so I have a more informed opinion. Also, I played the game in April. Right. I haven't stopped talking about it since then. Remember we were just, every episode, David, is, when are we going to get the release date? When are we going to get the release date? We finally got the release date. When are we going to get a preview? Donovan got to try it out for a preview. Like, Donovan, you maybe spent like 4 minutes talking about this guy in our 2-hour podcast last week. You know, like, it's... And I saw like Steven Totillo had a similar take. He's like, this is not a big deal. Like some people played the whole hour and a half and they're like, this is not a big deal. I think there were some sensationalist headlines that took advantage of this opportunity to rage bait, but like it's much ado about nothing.
It's just, there's an adjustment period with anything, and people who have not played Other M or only used to Samus not talking or not interacting with anything, like it's just an adjustment period that everyone has to go through, like when a new doctor is come into Doctor Who, or like when I saw Bowser talk in Sunshine, which was terrifying to me. It took me a little bit to get used to that. I'm sure him sprinkled throughout, it adds some context, adds some talking to the game, because Dread had like no talking. There's like the computer.
Dread had
The
Adam.
only thing that talks is the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edie. It was Edie, whatever his name.
Adam. Emmys were the robots chasing you. Adam was the AI that would talk to you and was kind of funny at times. We mentioned it last week. But like Metroid Prime 3 had NPCs that talked to you at the beginning. Like people like forget this series. Like they forget like this is not the side scroller game, because the side scroller games are a game about isolation most of the time. And the first 2 Prime games were as well, but that third one kind of introduced this whole thing. It's like people are forgetting that these are all like some of the most critically acclaimed games. Like the Metroid Prime series, I think it's like 89 for Metroid Prime 3 on Metacritic. The other 2 are above 90. So these are like, would Nintendo release this if it was shit? They delayed it for 8 years. Like what was stopping them? If they had a problem with this, would they be like, you know what, another year? Like
they wouldn't release it if it were shit. But I understand. I don't like the crash out. That's extreme. That's just internet clout, right?
Yeah.
Like you said. But I do understand some apprehension because, like Metroid, I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Metroid is a very dark, more adult-oriented series, and so having a kind of like a goofier character, a character who seems goofy at the outset, from what we've seen, would be kind of jarring at first. Like I'm a little apprehensive about it, but I'm also going to reserve judgment until I play the game.
I don't think it's surprising that Nintendo dropped an overview trailer like right at embargo, because they wanted to take back the narrative that was running rampant all weekend. Really, you can see it in our comments across all platforms too, Greg, where it's just like garbage game, fail, whatever. It's just rage bait. People want to be upset about things.
Keyboard, it's like a snowball, and it just goes downhill, and everyone's arguing and fighting, and that's all. And all those algorithms love it. It doesn't matter what kind of engagement it is. It's like, ooh, engagement. Let's recommend this.
Yeah, and look, these are the same people that said Mario Kart World wouldn't sell. These are the same people that said Switch 2 was dead on arrival and $500 was too much.
This $500. What a ripoff.
These are the same people. Now, I won't say that about Arlo. Arlo, like, he's just a very passionate fan of Nintendo games. Sometimes he's going to disagree with the direction of a game. He's entitled to his opinion. And it's an opinion piece. You're allowed to have an opinion, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You're like, hey, I don't like this thing. David's apprehensive about it. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But this idea that we talked about it with that the dramatic reading about that Pokemon email, Donovan, like people viscerally reacting to your opinion in a way where they have to convince you that you're wrong about what you think is just exactly what's wrong with the internet. And I saw it happen again this weekend. And I'm just like, this internet sucks. The current internet we're in really sucks. And the response to Metroid kind of sucked. If you felt bad about that one scene, I recommend you go watch our puzzle gameplay or the boss fight gameplay or the morph ball gameplay or all those things, scanning, all those things that you actually like about Metroid Prime series, David. They're all there. Yeah. They're all there.
A whole video just of scanning.
Yeah.
That's it. If that's your jam and you want to read and scan, I got a whole video of that.
So you can even scan Myles McKenzie in this game. I saw you do it, Donovan. That's what you do. And it's like Jaboofer named Myles McKenzie, and he's kind of annoying. Like, it's like Samus's own Visor AI also kind of hates Myles McKenzie. So I'm like, let's wait until the game comes out before we declare it dead on arrival, because this is like 3 minutes of what is probably going to be like about 40 hours, right? I think a lot of it has to do with killing aliens, David. That's just going to be my guess. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you probably shoot aliens with your random weapons. And then guess what?
Whoa.
I know. You're going to find weapons as you go through the game, and you actually get more powerful as you progress through the game. I know, it's ridiculous. I know.
You unlock areas with those new powers and explore.
I know, like ridiculous.
Game. I will say, I was like kind of flabbergasted if the kids say that about like Donovan not being able to play the motorcycle.
What did the kids say?
Flabbergasted. Like, I was hoping to get motorcycle gameplay in this preview, but like we didn't see any, because that's like the big thing. Like,
well, they dropped that overview trailer the next day, and it featured it. Right. So like we did get to see it. Like it is.
See it, but like
the desert world is a hub world, like we were talking about, Donovan, and You're going to drive your motorcycle in that world. There's going to be enemy encounters. There's going to be like collecting of random shards or something, kind of like in Pokemon CA, oddly enough. But like there's going to be some sort of shard collection. There's going to be some gameplay, some combat. But also there's going to be levels where you can summon the bike, David. And it does kind of seem like the Morph Ball in that sense, which was what you were talking about. You don't want it to feel Arkham Knight Batmobile-ish.
Horned in.
Yeah. Where it's just like, you have to do this at this point. You can't not do it. Like, it seems like there's going to be some optionality there. And also the transition from third-person motorcycle to first-person seems very seamless. And that's kind of slick. But yeah, like, it's... I think people are like, oh, the open world looks boring. I mean, that's possible. But I don't think it's like the core part of the game. I think it's like this area where you're in between things. And like any Metroid game, you're probably going to get some kind of power in one area that unlocks another biome. Then you'll have to... I think it's going to be this area where you're kind of traversing in between these different levels.
Right.
Did any of you guys ever play Dylan's Rollin' Western on 3DS? No, of course not.
No.
It's a game about an armadillo. It's a first-party Nintendo game about an armadillo just going around a desert.
Wow.
I got Dylan's Rollin' Western vibes from the desert scenes, is all I'm saying. And I know, I'm like one of 5 people to probably play that game. I actually liked it. I quite enjoyed Dylan's Rollin' Western. And, yeah, anyway, just a completely random reference for like the 4 people out there who probably remember Dylan. But, yeah, I didn't see anything in that trailer that was like, uh-oh. It still looks cool as hell to me. I played it. My demo was maybe 20, 30 minutes in April, Donovan, and like, it seems like we played something similar. I played a boss battle that I think you played in handheld, and then you played a boss battle that I hadn't seen before. It looked really cool. It was a Carvex or whatever.
Yeah.
That actually looked really cool to me. I was like, that looks great. But yeah, a lot of people just jump to conclusions, I guess is what I'm seeing there.
Give them a mat. I have a mat at home.
I've sent Greg several jump to conclusion mats because he's very guilty of that as well. But yeah, like, it's just calm down, internet. This is just my message.
I think you also have to take into account that this could be someone's first Metroid Prime game. I know they did the remaster a couple years ago, but like this could be like the first one. I have Nintendo Switch 2, and I've never played a Metroid Prime game before, and this is my first one. So like, there's other things that take into account. Yeah. So
it's like all those people who are like,
Metroid Prime.
I haven't played a 3D platformer from Nintendo. Donkey Kong Bonanza is the best 3D platform I've ever played. It's like, okay, let me introduce you to Odyssey, or 3D World, or Bowser's Fury.
We talked about Lord and Savior Cappy recently.
Look, I love Cappy, and I'd love to see Cappy in the Mario movie. But yeah, this internet crash out over Metroid Prime 4 is ridiculous. And I think that it'll prove to be an overreaction. Shock, right? But like, I just think it's going to be another overreaction when it's all said and done. But yeah, I'm sure
the same people who predicted the Switch 2 is DOA are the same people who are probably going to buy this game. You remember, I think the most famous example was people were really upset about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for whatever reason. And then there's that screenshot of a huge Steam friends list with like people saying, I'm not going to buy this. And then everyone was playing on the friends list, right?
Yeah.
Like, people are going to get this game. It's a system. I don't know if it's a system seller, but it's definitely Nintendo's marquee title for the holidays.
Yeah, I think it's a system seller in America. And also it's coming out on Switch 1 as well. So it is like, to me, it's the last big Switch 1 game. Like, this is it. This is how you end that generation. And I know we got Tamagotchi Life and a couple other games coming out next year, but this is like the last flagship Nintendo game.
The last cross-platform,
This is it.
Game,
This is the one. This is how you end that console's first-party software support, really. Like, and yes, it's a straddle game, and yes, it's going to run better on Switch 2. So it has all those things that Legends had going for it too, Donovan, where a lot of people bought Switch 2 to play Legends ZA, which we still don't know how many of those bundles have sold yet. But like, they're not bundling Metroid with the Switch 2. It's not pushing systems to that extent, David, but like I think it is going to be one of those games here in the States that like people are going to buy it. But yeah, like I just I think it's kind of ridiculous, man. I think people need to calm down. But
on a side note, how long until we start getting like Switch 2 versions? Like, they did like Pokemon and Animal Crossing, and like they did all these different versions of the Switch. When will we get the Metroid Prime Switch Joy-Cons with the dock, or the that kind of stuff for the Switch 2?
Hope soon.
I doubt it.
I think all the console makers have kind of disappointed in that territory the last few years, but I wish we got more of it. But yeah.
I mean, we got that donkey of a Resident Evil controller.
That's not even.
And it sold out instantaneously.
They probably made like 4 of them, but like
4 of them. Yeah, artificial scarcity is huge with Nintendo. They love doing that.
Same with Xbox ROG LAX, but whatever.
Big 10, we still got them instantly.
No, those are the same people. These are the people who said Metroid Prime 4 is an abomination. Are the same people who said that the ROG Xbox Ally X was going to kill the Switch 2. And by all accounts, the entire ROG Ally family, so that's the original one that David you've held and we couldn't get to start a game, the one that you've held, Greg, the one Donovan's tried out, the white one and the black one that came out this year with the Xbox handles, all of those combined in the last quarter sold somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000 units.
That's not great, right? That's really low.
That's the kind of number where like Tim Cook would literally jump off of Apple Park to off himself or Furukawa would resign if the Switch 2 launched to only 200,000 people. Like that would be, you would resign if you're a CEO of a game company. Asus is spinning it that it's actually better than they expected it would do. Boy, were their expectations low. But it kind of highlights what I said a while ago about the whole thing. If Microsoft really thought it was going to be a success, they would have done it internally. But instead, they just licensed it out to ROG, and then they had to take the profit and loss risk, not Xbox.
Really, what other company did that the last decade with something that's coming back?
Yeah, exactly. A little tease for later in the episode.
Yeah, a little preview.
But yeah, like, just these people, man. Switch 2 is going to fail. $90 games. These are the same people that spread the $90 games outrage. There was no $90 game. But boy, on April
that information spread like wildfire.
On April 2nd, 2025, you could go on the internet and you could even ask Gemini, and Gemini would be like, yeah, Mario Kart's going to cost $90. It's like, no, it's not. Now, like I've already said it in the past, Nintendo did a terrible job messaging price that day. But they also were dealing with the tariffs, which brings me back to that question, Greg. Like, Donovan, like whoever brought it up, special edition Switch 2s in this economy? No.
Yeah.
No. And also, they use those things to spur demand, right? So, like, do they think they need to create demand for the Switch 2 right now? No, they don't. So it's like, and also these accessories are so damn expensive. Like, I don't want to have to buy another 2 Joy-Con for $90. I don't want to buy another Pro Controller for $90 right now. Like I'm lucky that I bought all those accessories before the price increases. But even before the price increases, $80 was a ton of money for 2 Joy-Con. Like that's a lot. So like, keep them where they are right now, Nintendo. Like I don't need the Splatoon Switch 2 yet. Now that being said, they will eventually make one, Greg. Like the one that what I would love to see is a Mario Galaxy Switch 2. Like,
oh, that makes so much sense with the movie coming in April to launch that. Yeah.
I think we will get. I mean, we got a Zelda Switch OLED for Tears of the Kingdom, right? Mm-hmm. So I think for Mario or Zelda, some game, some promotion that will happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think until then.
I also just think like it's such a sleek and stylish system that like I don't think they need to do anything with it yet. I don't think they're gonna fall over themselves to do that this generation, Greg, because the costs are already so high for people, and they don't want to piss off the early adopters. So I think those are 2 reasons why you're not going to see like a special edition Switch 2. I don't think for a while. Like I think it's going to be like a year, if not more. They don't need a spur demand. They have plenty of demand.
Yeah, we got the Switch Lite Zelda thing, which is rad. Like that came at the very end of this, last year. Like it was very like the end of the life cycle of that console.
We had the Animal Crossing OG Switch. That was that's like one of the best docks they ever looking docks. I don't want to say it was a good dock. The dock on the original Switch sucks ass, but the actual look of it was nice. And yeah, the look of the Zelda Switch 2 OLED or Switch 1 OLED is cool. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see any of that. You're seeing some third party stuff. But yeah.
Did you get the Pokemon one, Donovan? The Pokemon Switch? Did you buy that one? The XY Switch?
It was Scarlet Violet they did for Switch 1. No, I bought the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED because it just looked cool as hell. I would like some Pokemon stuff. I thought it would have been cool if we could have gotten some like green Joy-Cons or something for ZA. If Gen 10 really is next fall, I hope we get something by then for those games.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and that would be a good bundle, right? Like they could.
It would.
It seems like we're gonna see at least another bundle or two in the next year, right? Because this $70 is a lot of money for a game. $80 is a lot of money for a game. Giving the consumer the opportunity to save $20 or $30 at the point of sale, I think is a really smart move by Nintendo. And like everyone who was complaining about Mario Kart World costing $80, it's something like 95% of people who've bought Mario Kart World did not pay $80. They paid $50. And that just seemed to be like part of the plot that was missing from everyone's overreaction video back in April. That or have like 1 million views. But yeah, it's anyway, calm down about Metroid. It's going to be fine, guys. And if it's not, go play another video game that you haven't played. You fucking posers. Go beat Tears of the Kingdom before you complain about Metroid Prime 4. It's at 4K 60 FPS. It might be the best video game of all time. I know some people disagree with that. IGN and Nintendo Life put it at the #1 Switch game. The #1. I agree.
I can't dispute it.
I agree, man. Like I just think it took a lot of what Breath of the Wild did right. It expanded on it. And I think even if you listen to Anuma talk about the development of Tears, there was some stuff that was like scope limitations from having to straddle the Wii U and the Switch that didn't exist by the time they made Tears. Like the depths, he thought of the depths for Breath of the Wild, but they ended up coming to fruition in Tears. Just a polling here. Donovan, do you like the depths in Tears of the Kingdom?
I think they're fine. I don't love them or hate them.
Fine. David, did you like the depths?
No.
Greg, did you like the depths?
Yes, I wish I would have found them earlier though.
I like the depths. But
yeah, that's fine. It's interesting. Yeah, it's a new layer to the world too.
But like, I just think it's divisive. Was kind of my point. And like that's just not. All of us here love Breath of the Wild. All of us here beat Breath of the Wild. Not all of us beat Tears of the Kingdom. I think that's kind of my point. It's
right.
But yeah, if you're a jaboofer and you're making money off of posting your outrage video about Metroid Prime 4, more power to you, but go play good video games in the meantime. There's a ton of them out there. And a lot of them are getting Switch improvements, or Switch 2 improvements for free. Some of them cost money. Some of them are free. But yeah, we already talked about the Mario movie trailer. There's nothing else you can go watch Pop Goes the Cultures VOD or our Mario movie trailer VOD. But yeah, props to Donovan for predicting that would happen on last week's episode. Donovan's like,
I could feel it.
You felt it coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
And now, we got about a week from Thanksgiving. We'll see Mario at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with Sonic.
He'll be there.
Sonic and Mario together again.
And Pac-Man. He'll be in there too. Don't forget about little me, Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It's his
what a
40
time to be alive. Did they just did a crossover too, Mario, Pac-Man, and Sonic? What a time to be alive. Look at all this crossover stuff we're getting. It's amazing. What an amazing time for gaming.
Sonic is in a bit of a renaissance right now. Like they've actually made some good games. Shadow Generations last year, Greg, and then Sonic Racing Crossworlds. If Kart didn't come out this year, I would probably be pounding the table for how good Sonic Racing is. And that music, man. That damn theme. Once you hear the Sonic Racing theme, it'll be in your head for the rest of the day. Yeah, just real quick. Jeff Keighley snubbed Mario Kart World for best music.
You don't surprise me. The game has great music.
Not a nomination.
Like an internal vote, and then they do like a fan vote too, right? Like they do two different.
No.
One award with a fan thing now.
It's no the fans vote on the nominees. The nominees are determined by a private jury selected by God Emperor Jeff Keighley, where he definitely excludes Shacknews from the list of global games outlets that should be a part of this. But yeah, no Mario Kart World soundtrack for best music. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like a miss.
Major oversight is what it is, but
Seems like a bit of a miss. But that's why the Shacknews Awards exist, so stay tuned in December for those. A little bit more Nintendo news. Red Dead Redemption's coming to Switch 2.
Is the port going to be terrible?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I think as usual, it would depend on the engine, but I don't think Rockstar. Well, okay.
You said David. See, David's like, wait a minute, I just remember this. I was like, I remember too.
I don't think this. I don't think this will be terrible.
The trailer looked good. Also, it's like a 360 game.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? It's like a 360 game that's being ported, and they've already done this. I think it's good. I also think it's.
Will never. You always have to. You can't give the benefit of the doubt anymore. You have to ask questions now. I feel because there's been so many misstops on stuff like this.
But we also.
It should be easy, right?
It's been a trend all year, Donovan. You pointed out it's like flipping a coin now with third-party ports to the Switch too. Some of them are complete shit, and some of them are good. This one I'm leaning towards it's going to be good. The other thing is like Rockstar needs some money in between now and when GTA 6 launches. Does this mean Red Dead 2 could eventually come to Switch 2?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think
that would be the dream.
Given enough time and optimization on the platform, but there are sacrifices. Like Donovan, you played a Persona game, it was locked at 30, right? Like that's a sacrifice. Right?
It's a sacrifice that they chose to make because then the
that's
same
more like a poor port, but yeah.
Yeah, that's not Greg. It's just go look at Sonic Racing's Switch 2 breakdown. Like. It's an insanely impressive port to Switch 2 that's happening from the same company. So it's like, it is a coin flip. So I'm not going to say that Red Dead will be good, but I think Red Dead being on Switch 2 is a good thing. Like, that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Will we get GTA 5 on the Switch 2?
Yes.
Right?
I think we
Who
will.
knows?
Right?
I will say this. I think that
David, yeah.
Resident Evil Requiem, there are going to be a lot of eyes on that because I think that will set the benchmark for how Switch 2 ports should perform. Just based on what we've seen so far, it's extremely impressive. It's going to be, I don't know how often this has happened, but a lot of the ports we're getting for Switch 2 are games that have been out for a while. So Requiem is going to be a game that will launch on Switch 2 day and date with the other platforms. That's going to be really important, and its performance is going to be really important too, I would say.
Hollow Knight, Hades 2,
technically, I mean, I'm not disputing those games for sure, but Resident Evil Requiem and the RE is a step above.
I was gonna bring up, like, I'm just saying these are day and date games. Madden, Tony Hawk. Those are the ones when I'm like day and date releases where it didn't feel like you were compromising being on the Switch 2. Right. That's all I mean about those games. I agree that they're not an RE engine game, but an RE engine game that did come out this year, but it wasn't day and date with their competitors, was Street Fighter 6. And it runs extremely well on Switch 2. So it's like, it is, I think you're right to point out, it's like engine specific. It's also resource allocation, right? Like some companies are just like, we're not going to put too much effort into this port on the Switch 2. Because Elden Ring comes to mind. Like that game.
Like, can we do it quickly? Yeah.
The game already sold extremely well on PC and PS5 and Xbox Series, whatever, right? So, like, does it make sense for From Software to spend a ton of money to make this come out on Switch 2 perfectly? No. But then you, like, conversely, like the other one that I think of that didn't come out day and date but was a launch title is Cyberpunk. Like, Cyberpunk runs extremely well on the Switch 2, and it's still like a technical marvel on that system. The other game that I'm keeping an eye on, David, just for the historical relevance of it, but also it looks really nice, is the Final Fantasy Remake port that comes out next year. So I feel like those are going to be two very important moments. But yeah, like Resident Evil, they're not just dropping 9, they're dropping 8 and 7, right? So like they're confident that they got this thing running well. We had TJ on after TGS talking about it. where he had really nice things to say about how it ran in handheld. And if a game's running well in handheld, it stands to reason that it'll run well docked when it has 4K and those the other things that they can do. But yeah, it has been a case by case kind of thing, Greg. So I understand the skepticism for Red Dead, but Red Dead is also a very old game that I think that they can do this. I'm not too worried about it.
I also feel like, I know the Nintendo Switch is still really, really new. I feel like the longer that's in our ecosystem, like the better the ports will get based on the resources they allocate to those ports. Because I always think about, when I think about ports and or the end of the 360 era, how beautiful some of those games looked. Like right before it was dead. Like those are some of the most beautiful.
With every console.
Yeah, because everyone knew how what they had to sacrifice for it to look the best, and they knew it. Like they're still learning. Once they start getting on that with Nintendo Switch, which I feel is faster now in today's age of technology, like we'll get that too eventually. It just takes a little bit of time.
But then you also have like the Fortnite port on Switch 2, which is great, and that was at launch. So I think it's resource allocation as much as it is time, Greg. Like some companies are just trying to rush ports out, and that's what that Persona Reload was a rushed port that ended up not landing as well as it could have, and that sucks. Because now that has me worried about Metaphor. But then I'm reminded that, Expedition 33 saved the turn-based RPG genre, so thank God. I was worried.
I saw that game at GDC, and like no one was playing it. No one interviewed the devs. Like I was like, this game looks really cool. Like no one was talking to them. It was really odd.
Played it at GDC.
Then, yeah, it was at the Xbox showcase. Like it was one of the 20 games there, and like just it was. To this day, I think we're one of the few people who actually got video interviews before the craziness. I think that's it just shows you in hindsight, you never know what's going to pop off. You know what I mean? You never know.
I kind of had a feeling about Dispatch being good. Dispatch should be on Switch too, by the way.
Yeah, it should.
It should
but
be.
Even Dispatch though was
on
announced
PC
like over a year
right
ago.
now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only on. I think they have exclusivity money for PlayStation, and that sometimes they don't.
It's
get
not.
the game.
I don't think it's not an exclusivity thing. It was just a development thing, and them having limited resources. So they just transferred
PC too,
PS5 and PC.
Yeah, I have it on PC, but yeah, that's a game that should be on Switch too. I'm just saying, and that's obviously an indie studio that doesn't have all the money in the world. They had to make a calculated guess on what to do. But yeah, you got Hollow Knight, you got Hades 2 as a console exclusive on the Switch, at least for the launch year. But yeah, it's been a weird year for third parties. Speaking of third parties, Nintendo denies intentionally breaking third-party Switch docks with the recent firmware update. Whoops.
They did not. They did not do this.
I mean, they did break them. Some don't work anymore, but they might fix it down the road, most likely. It's just they're doing their thing. I don't really have a need for a third-party dock. Maybe they're cheaper than the regular docks or something, but
there was one for Switch, the original Switch, that was like, I don't know why you would need this, but it was smaller. It didn't take up as much space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you would need that, but to your point, I haven't seen any third-party docks that feel essential. Maybe the smaller ones are good for travel.
Yeah,
but just for me, I haven't seen any that feel essential.
Yeah, I don't really need it, but
I still like the Switch Lite as of right now. Like you can't play Mario Kart World on it or Donkey Kong Bonanza or any of the Switch 2 games, but I still love that. And the Switch 2, I think it's just a little big for me to carry right now, especially with like the carrying case is bigger, it's heavier, battery doesn't last as long. Still a great system, but you swear by the Switch 2 case, also. If you love that little Switch 2 case, they were sold out when I tried to buy one.
It's not little.
Target.
It's like a cube.
It's useful.
It's very nice. Oh no, but I don't think anyone here has said anything about how great the Switch 2 is in handheld. It's fine.
Fine, yeah.
I like playing in handheld.
There you go.
I play mine in handheld probably the most on the show.
1 out of 4 people agree.
So, Donovan, here's what I did this weekend, because I was playing Pokemon, obviously. I played it. This is now the second game that I've really spent time playing it in tabletop mode. So, like, the Switch 2 to me has become a portable television, Greg. Like, I'm not playing it in handheld, but I will use its kickstand. And like I played, I had 3 mega rogue megas that I had to take care of, Donovan. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this while watching football. So like I did that. It ran great, but yeah, like I've kind of the scenarios where I would have been playing it in handheld, I'm playing it in tabletop mode now. And I just have my Pro controller with me. And it's actually quite a good experience. So I've been doing that with like the single player games. I did that with Plants vs. Zombies too, David, because of the touchscreen. But yeah, I finally played like a game on it in tabletop mode. But yeah, I think it's far too heavy. It's far too big. But the Switch Lite sold like ass, Greg. Like, you like it. I know you're it. You're the one person I know who likes the Switch Lite.
1 in 4 people agree the Switch Lite is great.
It's not.
Because here's the thing. It has these I have these grips for it. It's just smaller for me to travel. Like, it's easier than the regular Switch.
Yeah.
To travel with, because the grips on the Switch are huge. Like, and then they're even bigger on the Switch too. It's too big for me, and my hands cramp, and yeah.
I didn't have a problem with the original Switch in handheld. I liked playing the original Switch in handheld. I have a problem with the Switch 2. It's too big. And the battery sucks. Those are my 2 biggest negatives for it. Like, whenever I do file my Switch 2 review, those are 2 of the biggest negatives. The other negative is game key cards and the whole storage issue that is on this system. But yeah, like, it's fine that there's a Switch Lite. I do think a smaller form factor Nintendo device would be nice. I think they've kind of given up. They're like, phones won. We can't compete with phones. Phones fit in your pocket. You're not gonna walk around with a Nintendo device and a phone in your pocket. You're just gonna walk around with your phone in your pocket for portable, ultra portable gaming, right? I think it's sad that Nintendo's given up on that, because in my opinion, the best system of any kind that they ever made was the Game Boy Advance SP. Maybe the DS, but like, a lot of what they got right with the DS, they got right with the Game Boy Advance SP, which was like ultra portable and had amazing battery life.
Design. It was so slick, man.
Masterful industrial design and great battery, backwards compatibility. It had a lot going for it that they've kind of lost their way when it comes to that. And yeah, the Switch 2 is very large, Greg.
Yeah, and I will say, just because I like to mention it, when I was on Tokyo with my Tokyo trip, the seat USB chargers don't charge as fast as they drain most electronics, so like, you're going to tick down. But I was able to play my Switch Lite the whole way through, plugged in, where the guy next to me had a Steam Deck, was dead in 2.5 hours. So I thought that was a cool, like, kind of comparison just about like size and power. I know it varies on what games you play and stuff like that, but just thought that was interesting statistic on my flight.
I flew across the Pacific several times with my OG Switch, and I was able to keep it charged while playing Breath of the Wild. That wasn't a Lite, Greg. That was just a regular Switch.
It's just a regular Switch, yeah. Breath of the Wild's a pretty, like, one of the most demanding games on that platform.
Yeah, so I was able to do that, but I haven't tried to play a Switch 2 for an extended period of time like that. I have heard that, though, that like there's a lot of systems that discharge faster than they're charging when they're plugged in now. And that's not great.
It has to do with the airplane too, because it doesn't output the correct voltage or lower voltage than it does at home. So that's not, that's a specific example.
I use battery banks though with like a USB-C cable, so I'm curious.
Those do it right.
Yeah, like I have a RAV Power from Anchor that I think might be able to do it. I might just test that on my own because I'm curious how that will work. But yeah, I agree. I think the Switch 2 is kind of a shitty handheld. But I kind of think all of the handhelds are shitty. I think they're all too big. Like, the Steam Deck is huge. I don't like holding it for an extended period of time. I don't even like the ROG Xbox Ally X. I think it's too bulky. It's just too big.
Having the option just to take it is like there, even if the battery life is 20 minutes, like having able to take it out is like, I'm still playing, is like that is a sales pitch, right? It's not just
20 minutes.
I'm just saying, you can still take it. You can still take it with you. It's still a selling point, whether if its battery life is asinine or not, right?
No, not right. Wrong.
It's not right? Okay.
That's a terrible take. 20 minutes of battery life's okay. 2 hours of battery. No. The Switch 2's battery life sucks ass. And the ROG Xbox Ally X battery sucks ass. And the Steam Deck's battery sucks ass. We shouldn't be accepting less than 3 hours of battery life for these things. It's not good. How long would your battery last in a Game Boy Advance SP, David? Like 18 hours?
Man, you want to talk about battery life, though. The original Game Boy, I could go for months.
AA batteries. Yeah, months.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Take them out of your parents' remote when they ran out too.
Like, we gotta look at the history of these things, and like they're trending the wrong way, man. Like there was something magical. Or fuck gaming devices. Think about like iPod battery life. The iPod Shuffle. You can go multiple days without charging that thing, and it was as small as a freaking stamp. Like, there's something wrong with all the consumer electronics now, including phones, but definitely these handheld PCs and the Switch 2. Like,
Power.
You're talking about resources, right? It's weight, it's cost, right? It's manufacturing. Like, a bigger battery means bigger weight. You know what I mean? Like, they struggle with that in cars still. Like, you know, how much battery can we fit in the car to get the biggest distance? It's getting better, but it's a resource.
It's just a matter of modern video games. I mean, the Game Boy never had to process a photorealistic model at 60 frames per second. It's just,
right.
It wasn't using a NVIDIA chip with super sampling, right? Like, there are these things that, like, 5 years ago, you could only get in like a dedicated desktop GPU, but now they're in a Switch. You know what I mean? Like the evolution of what we're doing with these GPUs is undoubtedly affecting battery life, right? And you can see it on mobile games too. Like an intensive mobile game will drain the fuck out of your phone battery fast. Like, run Death Stranding on your phone, see how long it lasts. Because that's why I'm like, I'm not just shitting on handheld PCs here. I'm shitting on every device's battery life. It seems like battery life is just not as big of a focus anymore. But the idea that, I could play a game for 20 minutes, so I'm going to have it take up all of the space in my carry-on as I travel the world, fuck that noise. Fuck that in particular, Greg. No. You even said it yourself. You have a Switch 2. You have a Switch 2. You went to Japan and you brought your Switch Lite instead because its battery life was better. And you enjoy holding it more. So you're even saying you're saying the opposite of what you already said.
No, I was just saying that it's a selling point that you can remove it from the dock and play with it outside the TV. Like, that's a selling point. Having to be able to take it with you places is a selling point, regardless of how awful the battery life is.
Sure. Look, the Switch 2 is far more portable than a PS5. I'll give you that.
It is, yeah.
I'll give you that. But man, it's not like
or ROG Ally. It's lighter. I think it's lighter than the ROG Ally too.
Well, so
and has better battery life. It's not even a fair fight. It's like if Tyson's fighting an infant.
Great, we started talking about third-party dogs.
Whoops.
How did we get here? Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to. I'm sorry, Greg. You're wrong. RONG.
No, it's fine. Donovan can attest. I'm wrong 90% of the time. He was with me. And when I'm right, oh God, help the world. If something that I say is right.
No, that's all good. Here's what's right. A Pokopia trailer dropped, Donovan. We got more Pokopia. This game is starting to look bigger than I thought it was. Like, the scope of what you can do, that there's like multiple islands, that you learn different traversal mechanics through other Pokemon. Also, like, you build habitats to, like, get the Pokemon to show up, and then, I don't know, it just seems interesting. A lot of cool stuff. And they showed off a creepy Pikachu, or Creepachu, or whatever the hell they're calling it.
They're calling it Pikachu, and it's like this ghostly white-looking Pikachu where it's like the ears are all droopy, and it's like tails like shriveled up and stuff. Looks very creepy. Looks like a ghost. I would say this is going to be a ghost-type Pikachu, but we already did that. It was called Mimikyu, and it was in Sun and Moon. Mm-hmm. It's the one that looks like a puppet, and it's like neck like cracks and falls over. It's very creepy looking. But yeah, I think this game looks very fun. Obviously, it's like a Pokemon's first. I think they even say this in the trailer. It's Pokemon's first like lifestyle sim. Which is just like a match made in profit heaven, I would imagine. But I do like how they're doing. You know, it's like you meet a Squirtle, you learn how to use water gun. That's how you water your crops. You know, you take Charmander's fire. That's how you make, campfires and stuff. But they expanded it in this trailer where they show like Ditto turning into a Dragonite to fly between the islands, right? And depending on how big the Pokedex is in that game, I'm sure there will be a lot of different versions of that. They confirmed multiplayer, at least 4 players we saw building together, which is pretty cool. That'll be huge for that game. They showed Tangrowth, which is a Pokemon from Gen 4. It's like Tangela's evolved form. It's like this big, viney monster, essentially like this grass monster.
It's
but
a
like
professor. Yeah.
Yeah, it has glasses, like these cracked glasses, and then what is obviously a TM, which is a technical machine. It's how you teach Pokemon moves. They called it a CD. They tweeted about it today. They're like, it's got a weird looking CD thing on its head. It's a TM. It's going to be a story thing. I don't know what that's all about. But I think the theories on this game have been interesting because the way they set it up is like you're in this destroyed island, and they even say in the trailer that like all the people in Pokemon that once lived here are gone, which is ominous because they don't say that they left; they say that they're gone. And people are already like trying to determine where this is in the Pokemon world. I think the theory I like is that it's Cinnabar Island, which was in the Cancel region, Red and Blue. It's where the Fire type gym is. You fight Blaine there, but when you go back in Silver and Gold, they say that the island was ravaged by a volcano and the gym has been moved to a different island in the Seafoam Islands. So I wonder if we're just like back on like the destroyed Cinnabar Island after the events of those original games. I've also seen people say they think it's Fuchsia City, which would be weird because that's on like the mainland Cancel region. So if it's an island now, that would have some scary implications for what has happened to that region since Red and Blue. But I'm curious about it, man. I'm looking forward to it. It comes out in March, I think.
Yeah.
Should be a good one.
Dittos creep the hell out of me.
Fiddle's a creepy Pokemon, and they lead into it, man. It's so weird. If you ever like when you watch the anime, whenever Ditto turns into a Pokemon in an anime, it keeps like the eyes and the smile. It's just like those like beady dot eyes and the like wide smile. It's very weird.
Creeps the hell out of me.
Yeah. We watched in Detective Pikachu the movie. We watched that Ditto assistant, and Nicole was like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like she was just really uncomfortable.
Yeah, Ditto turning into people is a very scary precedent. It's really creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you, is this the first time that the Pokemon franchise has done like a Stardew Valley like sim game? They've done like seems way overdue for this. Like
it does. That's why I said it's a match made in profit heaven. Yeah, they've never done like a fully fledged lifestyle sim. I mean, Pokemon has had mini games and stuff. There's been like Pokemon Ranch and Hey You Pikachu and stuff where you're like carrying looking after animals, but
this is Koei Tecmo, right?
Yeah, which was surprising. I remember seeing that in that first stream. I'm like, oh, okay.
This is also a game key card.
It is. This is I think to my knowledge, the first like Nintendo published game key card game. So that's an interesting precedent.
I don't like it.
You're not alone. People were not happy about that. Yeah.
It does feel weird. I mean, like it's getting storage issues. Like these games are too big to fit on a cartridge, right? So like, what are you doing here? Like
it's not just that.
Speed. It's speed because this game is less than 64 gigs.
Yeah, this can fit on a cartridge. It's the data speed that the cartridge transfers data to the system. Okay. It's actually limiting what you can do with games. As
a trade-off, Osif, would you be willing to have a cartridge act as like a dongle to play the game? Like it's like a key you insert, then you can play it. Would that be acceptable to include in a case? Okay.
No. At this point, get rid of cartridges. There, I said it. Like,
oh God, the hot take. The internet.
No, why? Why are we making games with cartridges in 2025? Why?
Collectability.
No, there's optical media on all of your competitors' devices. It's like, I get it. This has to be ultra portable. Fine, then go all digital. Key cards are just the only value I see from a key card. I think I figured it out, is that you can download a game without having an eShop account. That's it. That's all it is. You can download a game without having an eShop account. You can download a game on a Switch without having a credit card on that Switch too. That's all it is. But it's not good for game preservation at all. It's just terrible.
Well, I think from Nintendo's perspective, a part of it is also just like their retail partners, right? Like if you can still sell a box, then Target can still sell Mario, or well, not Mario Kart's actually on the card, but like Pokopia, right? Like Best Buy can put like a Pokopia thing on their shelf. I think that probably matters for that relationship in some.
Yeah, Donovan's absolutely right. I think it's their third-party distributors, your WalMarts, your Targets, your games. Like that's why they can't just do all digital. Like they have a guaranteed sales number if they offer it to Walmart, right?
Have you not seen those cards? Have you not seen those like little cardboard cards that they sell in stores with the key on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not just go that way? Do you really need to take up shelf space? Is it that important that you need to that from a publisher standpoint? Do you need to make a plastic fucking case with no instruction manual in it, by the way? Like, just
No.
literally a plastic case with another piece of plastic that has a cartridge on it that has nothing on it except for encryption to download something.
Actually, I might have an answer to that because my friend owns a gaming store, and the ones that like the scratch offs that just are like little like flimsy things, they don't get very much from those for some reason. It may classify as a different type of like item to sell. So
Yeah, no
like,
shit. It's a digital download. It's a fucking piece of cardboard with a digital download on it.
At the end of the day, like a parent buying a Christmas gift, they're gonna happily buy a game keycard box, and they won't know what it is, and their kid won't know what it is, and neither of them will care, and it'll be $60 or $70 to whoever the, you know.
I get that, Donovan, but like, then you get home, and you put it in, and you have to download it anyway. At some point, the consumer's just gonna be like, well, why don't I just put a credit card on here and I don't have to go to the store? I complain about key cards because it is the end of collectors. It's the death of physical game collection at Nintendo.
Yeah.
It is. There's no sugarcoating it. There is no point in collecting key cards unless you like boxes. If you're someone who likes having boxes that you have to deal with when you move, by all means, buy a key card. But like, it's not good. It's Nintendo subtly pushing everyone to digital. That's what it is. And it's like, yeah, they're doing this in a way where it doesn't hurt the retail relationship. But it's like, it's over for game retailers, man. It's over. You have to do other shit. You can sell the systems. You'll make money off of selling systems. You'll make money off of selling accessories, controllers, merch. But it's over, man. 80% of sales at EA are digital. It's something like 85% at Take-Two, digital. Right? Like, the third parties have already gone this way. Yeah, they still make packaged goods, but like, I think it's a very half-ass way to do this. And it's like, it's also cheap.
You're right. I mean, in fact, like, you want to talk about how they're in trouble, like GameStop's having that day where you can trade in anything, even taxidermy for like they know their writing's on the wall. And like,
did you see this, David? It's trade in whatever the fuck you want day on December 6th at GameStop. It's like, what you got? You got a box of hair? We'll give you $2. It's like, it is the saddest dystopian thing in the history of video game retail. December 6th, please just sell us your shit at GameStop. That's what they're just like, please. We'll buy one of your MacBooks, but not this other one. And there's a list of shit they won't buy, Greg. It is massive. The list of things that they won't buy is massive. But I saw someone post this, like, sell us your nail clippings clip from Family Guy. Like, yeah, it's literally that. Like, they're literally just like, what you got? GameStop's a perfect example of this. The whole death of GameStop, which has been widely broadcasted for years. And by the way, those same jaboovers that said GameStop was dying, that you were wrong too, by the way. I wonder if there's anyone who was right about GameStop not dying. Huh. Anyway. Yeah, it's
$2 is gracious, Atif. I remember going, when I moved out, trading all my games in to get money, and they would scan penny, 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 penny. 1 cent for PlayStation 2 games. 1 cent.
Dude, do you remember, like, Donovan, how many times have you sold a sports game back to a retailer?
Several times growing up, like,
and like
2K and whatnot.
What'd you get? Like $1?
Yeah, it was always like a handful of bucks.
It's
not much.
The deflation has already happened, is my point. Like, the used game market is kind of dead, unless you're talking about retro gaming, where there's like a whole other market for retro gaming. That's why we have like a store like Exchange here in Northeast Ohio, where like there is still like a market for GameCube games and
retro games.
Yeah.
Retro game market's huge right now. Yeah.
But like this idea that you can collect games for the Switch 2 in physical form, no, you're not going to be able to. Like, some of them, sure, Donkey Kong, some of their first party titles. It makes me wonder though, Donovan, like, are they holding back their own software so that they can put it on these cartridges still? Because
maybe. I think another thing to consider also is that, like, and it's something I think we're all glad the Switch 2 did, but the continuity with the Switch 1, right? Like, the big selling point was that, you know, it's compatible, right? Like, people always complain that you have to start over with a new Nintendo console, and they were like, hey, this time you got a Switch game, just pop it in and play it, it works, it's fine. I don't know how you would have handled that if they were like, we need to go fully digital, or Switch 2 games are just going to be too powerful for a cartridge. I'm not sure what the solution would have been there.
Here's my solution. And yes, it would require a dongle, but like, you have a Switch cartridge, right? You put your Switch cartridge in the Switch 2 dongle.
Oh, and you put it to like the USB
Yeah.
thing or whatever.
No.
Action replay.
No, but then it authenticates it and says, okay, you are now able to download the digital version of this on your Switch 2.
What like stops you from taking one like copy of Breath of the Wild and giving it to like 11 people? Would the, like how would the
You would not be when you do that, it deregisters it from your current one. It's like, this has already been registered on another Switch. Are you sure you want? You know what? You're right. I don't know.
It opens up a dangerous can of worms though, because even then now I feel like I've got to like watch over my cartridge, because what if one day I get on and it's like somebody moved this? I'm like, wait, what happened? Who stole my cartridge out of my bookshelf?
There's probably not an elegant. There's not an elegant way to do this with physical support, right? Like, and that's a problem though, because by the end of the Switch 2 life cycle, I really doubt we're gonna have many physical games left.
No.
And then the question becomes, how many games can I fit on my Switch 2? Not a whole lot. That's a problem.
No.
That's a problem, man. That's a legit problem that we're going to run into down the road. And I know we have to deal with storage issues on every device. That's going to be a problem. And you can juggle them or whatever. And you can keep your save data but delete the game. There's all these things you can do to manage that. But like, dude, I deleted NBA 2K so fast off of my Switch 2. Like, I was like, this is it's like 70 gigs. I got other games. I wanted to install Windswept. I wanted to install Ball Pit. Like, I want to install, like, good games. I don't want to keep fucking Madden on my Switch. Like, I'll load up my PS5 and I'll still have Madden on there because I have enough room. But, like, by the end of the Switch 2 life cycle, we will all be dancing with probably multiple SDXC cards or some other bullshit. It's this planned obsolescence that Nintendo does at times that I find incredibly frustrating, and I just think that the key card is this weird half measure, and I don't think it leads to a good experience overall. I don't.
There have been no first-party games on game key cards yet, right?
Pokopia is going to be. I guess that's not first party. That's second party. Right. Yeah, but no, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, because I was going to say that maybe Nintendo will be an outlier because the install size for first-party developed games is pretty small. So Nintendo could be an outlier in this area. But I do think you're right. You and Donovan both, that by the end of the Switch 2 life cycle, we're going to see a lot of game key cards. I just don't know if it'll apply to first-party developed games.
I think that's a good point. Because at least you can still buy Donkey Kong Bonanza as a cartridge.
Yeah.
You can buy Pokemon Legends ZA as a cartridge. You can buy Mario Kart World as a cartridge. Is Hyrule Warriors a game key card? No.
Ooh, that's a question. I don't think so.
Ooh,
I feel like there would have been hubbub about it.
I don't think it is.
No, I think that's on cartridge. It's at the point now where I'm like, no, because we would know. It would have been like a headline if it wasn't.
I posted that video because Nintendo did this like breakdown of how key cards work. Like they posted like a tutorial about it on their YouTube channel. Posted it on Facebook, and boy, the commenters had a lot of opinions. They had a lot of thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm not saying it's anti-consumer. I'm not even saying it's anti-dev. I'm saying it's bad for game preservation. It's bad for collectors.
Yeah. I mean, the inevitable conclusion is that at some point, one of the big three is going to be like, our next console just does not support physical at all. It won't be the optional thing. It won't be PlayStation with the
It's going to be Xbox, dude.
It just won't be a thing.
1,000% it's going to be Xbox. Xbox will drop physical media first. 100%. Because Japan still has, like, actual video game stores. There's still mom and pop video game stores in Japan. And to your point earlier, Greg, like, they want to maintain those relationships with retailers. They want to... And also, just from a retail standpoint, you don't want to give up shelf space. It's hard to get shelf space. You don't want to give it up.
It's competitive. Yeah, competitive right now for shelf space.
So, yeah...
That's another good point. Yeah, I mean, a new Nintendo game comes out. They've got standees and billboards and signs pointing you to the electronics section. Yeah, you kind of throw all that away if you stop.
But I will say this: when you do want to get like a new game, like say you want to buy Donkey Kong Bonanza, like those mom and pop stores don't get those Switch 2 games because they need to get like a pallet of them, and like they can't sell 5,000. They can sell 20, but Nintendo's like, nope, you have to buy the pallet.
Yeah.
And it has to be the same single SKU, a whole pallet of the damn games. Like Walmart can do that. But GameStop can do that. Mom and pop stores can't do that, so they're just not selling Nintendo Switch games. So it's already started a little bit on the bottom tier.
Yeah.
And it'll trickle up. Yeah.
I think that's what we're seeing. I think it's the beginning of a trend. I think Nintendo went kicking and screaming to this, but this is what they came up with. I don't think it's good for consumers. I don't. But that being said, as a consumer of video games, I buy 98% of my games digitally now. And I don't care. I simply don't care. I don't want the physical things. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
There's certain things I want to buy, right? We talk about good for the consumer. Like, I would love to have just bought Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube for the thing, but I had to have the Nintendo Plus Power Plus subscription instead.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I would love to buy that digitally. I'd love to buy Ocarina of Time for the 20th time digitally on the Switch. Have to have a service now, which is kind of, I mean, that's minor gripe, but still.
That's just weird, though, that you like collecting icons when you can buy them, but when you have to pay a subscription, you don't like collecting the icons? Because they're both digital. They both could just disappear at any time. I feel like
this is true.
You know, that's the problem with eShops. The ephemeral nature of the virtual console is like you can't go back and buy them now. If you didn't. Now, my Wii U is like a sanctuary. It's like a wildlife preserve for awesome video games. But like, I think there was a flaw with the virtual console as well. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a good answer for a lot of this. And I don't think Nintendo cares about preservation as much as collectors do. Or like companies like Digital Eclipse or whatever. Like there's
no, like why would Nintendo care about third party, retro market, right? I guess
they don't. They simply don't. They just want as many games as possible to ship on their system. And this is the way for them to do that. And it's, from a dev standpoint, it's getting a lot of praise, at least. Like, hey, we wouldn't have been able to do this without it. Or like Star Wars Outlaws, like, we can't get this game to run well off of a cartridge. Which leads me back to Cyberpunk. I really think that's a damn impressive port. That they got that running off of a cartridge as well as it does. That's wild to me. But yeah. Let's see. Other Nintendo news. Oh, speaking of Microsoft, Reggie's surprised that Microsoft and Xbox haven't fully embraced the Switch 2, you guys. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why they didn't fully embrace it this year. I wonder if there was a podcast that's been talking about this all year. Anyway, I'm not surprised, Reggie. I'm surprised that Reggie's surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, I think it's obvious why they would I think it's obvious why they would publish with Sony, but not Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want this ROG Xbox Ally X. I think I said it right.
You did.
To succeed.
You did. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's an Xbox except for Nintendo. Also, no COD support on the Switch 2. So this is going to go into year 4 since that 10-year agreement was announced.
Yep.
For a company that loves to control its own message, they sure do not know what messaging to do. They just need to keep their mouth shut sometimes and stop talking.
Who?
Indiana Jones will not come anywhere else. Oh, it's on PlayStation now. Just kidding. Oh, we're going to have COD on Nintendo. Sure you are.
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking.
No, that wasn't them talking, Greg. That was a signed agreement that was required for the deal to be approved in the country of Japan. This could lead to the forced divestiture of Activision Blizzard. And if that's what happens, it is the greatest document in the history of Nintendo because they will have saved video gaming. This deal has been horrible for gamers, horrible for Blizzard, and horrible for all the devs that work at Activision Blizzard. It has been categorically terrible. Donovan, you're playing COD. How is it?
It's largely underwhelming. A lot of it is like it's like Black Ops 6.5. I'm gonna probably write my review this week.
Yeah.
There's a reason that for like the last 20 years they never like repeated back-to-back COD sub-series. They always alternated Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Raven, Sledgehammer, whoever was involved. And you can see why. There's the reason why we didn't make these games this way. They had a similar issue when they did Modern Warfare 2 and then 3 a few years ago during the pandemic.
But yeah, I reiterate.
Yeah.
If they never put COD on a Switch device, this could lead to the breakup of that deal. And that would be the funniest possible outcome.
I just think it's interesting whenever Reggie talks about like what Nintendo's doing or what's happening on like a Nintendo platform, because he doesn't always. I'm just curious when he decides to comment on stuff. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and I like hearing what he's playing. Like I think it's cool that he's just like enjoying Zelda games still. Like he's just doing his thing. I I think they also announced that the Andrew Yoon Award at the New York Games Awards is going to Pokemon. Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's like a whole franchise thing, which I mean, timely. Pokemon's about to turn 30 in February. Honestly, I'm starting to be feel a little surprised that they aren't starting to like ramp that up yet. Like I feel like we should have seen like a logo or something like that. That's right around the corner, and that's a big anniversary for the biggest IP in the world.
That's when you announce a Switch 2 Special Edition.
It is. It's probably when you announce the Generation 10 Pokemon games too.
Yeah, so that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, former editor-in-chief here at Shacknews, Andrew Yoon. Rest in peace.
Had a big hand in creating our rating system as well.
He would have loved this news, said Ozzy Mejia, our senior editor. But yeah, Reggie had some comments. Did we report on this on the podcast on the Mega Dimension DLC for Pokemon got a release date?
It's funny. I was looking at that too because I was like, this was definitely news that dropped before our last episode. There's a chance it got passed over that we might have just missed it. But I mean, we can hit it real quick in case we didn't. I don't recall talking about it on the show.
Coming out in December, right?
Yes, which is sooner than I thought. For some reason, I thought that was going to be next year.
Same.
But it's going to be the end of this year, which the optimistic Pokemon fan in me is like, oh, they're really clearing up 2026 to be other stuff. But it looks interesting. It's going to be an alternate version of Lumio City. They already announced the new Megas. Chimecho's getting a new Mega Evolution. Baxcalibur's getting one, which is interesting because Baxcalibur was a Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. So Gen 9. There are no other Gen 9 Pokemon that have a Mega Evolution, so
this is
that
also
was interesting.
The Pikachu Mega Evolution, right?
Yep, we're gonna get Mega Pikachu X and Mega Pikachu Y, which is again usually Megas are always the final evolution, so the rule would say it should be Raichu, but Pikachu is the mascot, so
yeah,
it's Pikachu.
So like I don't evolve Pikachu, and I can Mega Evolve Pikachu with this DLC. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
So I was right.
Mega Evolve it.
So I was right to not evolve Pikachu.
Unless you're a Raichu fan, that Raichu has its supporters. They're you know,
I kind of hate Raichu.
Raichu is.
Why do you hate Raichu? What did Raichu do to you?
Looks kind of dumb.
They did when Sun and Moon came out. They did an Alolan Raichu, which is like a different form. It's like a browner color, but its tail it's like hovers in the air and it surfs on its tail like a surfboard. Because those games were in Hawaii, in the Pokemon world, and they made it like electric psychic. That Pokemon was cool. I like Alolan Raichu, but yeah, this will be interesting. More story content. We see Corinna is back. She was the roller skating gym leader in X and Y. She gives you your first Mega Stone, gives you Lucario in the post game of ZA. She's back and they posted her design. I saw people say it's like the worst design in the history of Pokemon, but she's got like gym shorts, and then she's got like shorts under that, and then she's got like double shirts on, and there's like these weird straps all over her outfit, but they all have like Megastones lined up on them. She's got like bandanas, and her hair's like tied up in 3 different directions. She looks crazy as all hell, but
hot mess.
They let Tatsuya Nomura come in there for a hot second to design something.
Yeah, I mean,
I need more belts. I need more shorts. I need more bandanas.
It's also $30. But yeah, yeah, it's a $30 DLC. I think that's part of it, Donovan. It's the quest for more money. And Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are like, hey, this game's selling really well. Let's drop the DLC. I'll just give you
interesting. Legends Arceus never got DLC, which people were, kind of annoyed about. So very different this time around.
This seems like a natural place for me to give everyone my Pokemon Legends ZA gameplay update.
Yes.
I've gotten to the pretentious French part of the game, Donovan.
The pretentious French part.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about, right? The Society of Pokemon.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the battle.
The Pinkies out. Yes. Like, there's this fancy hotel, which shits all over my hotel, invited me to their hotel to compete in some tournament on behalf of this lady who has really good music, I gotta say, but is weird as hell. But yeah, and then there was also the whole, I did all the Yakuza's things that they wanted me to do. Which was weird. I went down to the sewer and I was cleaning up the sewer for them. They, for a mafia, they were actually doing some nice things, Donovan.
They're not the worst guys, yeah. And this is, Pokemon loves doing that. In the recent years, their evil teams are always they're just annoying people. They're not so much trying to rob or kill humanity like they were in the older games.
But yeah, they were fine. So I got through that. But now I'm at the pinkies out portion of the game, I think, and
Yes,
I had to go get a suit. I had to wear a suit, but then it ultimately like didn't really matter. But I got a suit.
Mm-hmm.
I have a suit. It looks like paisley or something. I don't know. It was very strange. I changed immediately after I didn't need it anymore because it felt awkward walking around with it. And yeah, I bought a leather satchel, so I don't have that basic red one on the back anymore. So it's like a black leather satchel. I'm loving this game. I love this game. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rogue mega battles are challenging and fun. I like how you have to like think about team composition, think about like, I have like 5 mega evolution Pokemon now. So I have Feraligatr, I have Victory Bill, I have Charizard. I got the X stone.
Okay, yeah, it's a good one.
And then who else? Boys, which is not the name of the Pokemon, but I got his
Heracross, yeah.
I got the Heracross stone. The first I had Absol already. Yeah, so I have 5 of my 6 Pokemon in my rotation are all capable of Mega Evolution now. And yeah, like I feel like I got a Poison Grass type, I got a Fighter type, I got a Fire Dragon type, I got a Water Ice type. Like I feel like I'm pretty good. Oh yeah, and I evolved whatever the hell the Ghastly evolves to. I have one of those now.
Haunter.
Yeah.
Gengar, yeah.
I have a Haunter now, so I have like a Ghost type. But I don't have the stone for that yet. But yeah, I'm progressing. I really like this game. Like it's great. It's gonna be on my top 10 games of the year list, and I don't think I had expected that going into this year at all.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I actually think the story's good. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm on promotion. I guess I'm C now.
Yeah, you're starting to close in now on the actual ending of the main story. Yeah. Well, now that you're at the Battle Society plotline, that's like one of the last ones before you ramp into endgame content.
And then, David, you've been playing some games.
I have my Switch 2 kickstand up right next to my computer, actually, because I was playing Ball Cross Pit and Windswept right before we started recording. I love these games. I'll talk about Ball Cross Pit first. This is Asif. This is a brick breaker game crossed with roguelike elements. Greg's nodding. I know he played it and really liked it. I love this game. It kind of came out of nowhere for me. I remember Greg talking about playing it at TGS, and then a friend also mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, Greg's talked about that. So I picked it up, and I've just been obsessed. So you get these balls with different powers. You shoot them at the bricks, which are enemies, and you want to level up. You get different balls. You can upgrade and fuse them to have different powers. And it's addictive. It's addictive. There's also a town building element, so you can kind of flesh out your little city, and also that you can harvest to build different buildings, which gives you like passive benefits in the game. This game is just fantastic. It's shooting up my game of the year list, not just my indie game of the year list.
You know why I haven't played it, David?
What's that?
Do you remember when I wouldn't shut up about the game Balls? It was a mobile game. It was a brick breaking mobile game.
I do.
I get addicted to brick breaking games. Like, the world stops. I stop playing all other video games when I get into a brick breaker. And I saw a gameplay of this. I think Lucas might have reviewed it for us. I can't remember who reviewed it.
Lucas reviewed it, yeah.
Yeah. And I saw the gameplay, and I was like, oh no, I can't. Like, what happened last year with Balatro and me, like, I can't have that happen right now. Like, I can't have a game take over my life. I just can't. So, like, I readily know that is going to be one of my games of the year. I know that. And I'm kind of terrified of it. Like, it's like similar to how Vampire Survivors took over my life, or like some of these games. Like, I know it's not necessarily the same genre, but like Balatro with its roguelike mechanic, like that gameplay loop owned me. I swept the Shacknews Awards, mobile game of the year, game of the year, indie game of the year. Ball Pit seems like the kind of game that could do that. So like right now I'm like, I hear you, man. I downloaded it. I have it on my Switch too, but I'm like, nope, not turning that on yet. I want to get done with Pokemon. I want to finish Doom. I need to play through Dispatch, and I need to try Expedition 33. But yeah, I hear you, man. Everything about that is my shit. I'm like terrified of how my shit that game is. I'm just like, when you're like, yeah, you need to try it out. I'm like, oh, I know.
It was good.
I'm not going to yet, but I know, like, when I do, I might be pounding the table for it at like a lot of the different in our top 10 lists and stuff for sure. Indie game of the year as well, which is interesting because, like, talking about a banger year for indie games, right?
Yeah, I will say that they're apples and oranges, really apples and Corvettes. But I like All Cross Pit more than Silk Song. Silk Song, I have some grievances with it that I'll get into the Game of the Year awards, and I really like it. But this is my indie game of the year right now. It's that good. And then hot on its heels is Windswept, which I described to you over the weekend, Asif, as Donkey Kong Country 4, but 8-bit. Like everything from the movement to the placement of secrets to the kind of victory fanfare at the end of levels. This game, they were clearly influenced by Donkey Kong Country. There's even like a swordfish type friend that you can find in underwater levels to help you like spear enemies and stuff. This game is fantastic. It's definitely more challenging than the Donkey Kong Country games are on average. This is made for people who play a lot of platformers and want a challenge. I mean, it took me forever to beat the very first secret in level 1. If that's an indication, but pardon me, I love challenging platform. I love platformers, especially challenging ones, because I've played these for 30 some years now, and this game is great. You should also check it out as well when you get it.
I have it downloaded on the Switch too.
TJ streamed it on his Indielicious, I believe, too.
Yeah, we have a vertical video clip of it, of TJ raging. Because it does seem rage-inducing. It's not the same kind of game at all, but like when I saw it, I was like, huh, it's kind of like Celeste in that art style, where I'm like, it's not like the most graphically impressive, but it's also cool, like sprite work.
They even have in Donkey Kong Country, especially in 2 and 3, when your two Kongs would kind of tag in, they'd kind of like tease each other or bop each other out of the way.
Yeah.
The animals, there's a duck, I think, and a turtle do that as well. Yeah. And then just kind of like, and like take over. It's really fun. It's totally Donkey Kong influence, which is my jam. I'm loving.
Interesting. I need to play that. I do. I saw it might show up in some of the Shacknews Awards categories. It's that good of a game. An amazing year for indie games.
Yes.
But I feel like that's true every year. Like, there's never been more games being released every year. Yeah. Like, there's more games released this year than the previous year. And the experimentation that we're seeing in the indie space has just been really impressive compared to
with every passing year when we submit our like top 10 game of the year list and top 10 indie game of the year list, my lists are becoming more and more homogenized, where it's just the same games now on both sides, where because the indie games are just the best games of the year. Right alongside the AAA ones. Even
saw it at the God Emperor Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, the Game of the Year nominations. I think there were 3 indie games. It was Expedition 33, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and Hades 2. Were 3 of the 6. And then I think the other 3 was it Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and something else. What was the other one? If you can look that up, that'd be great.
I think you said like there's so many games that come out nowadays. Like my friend has 2 kids, 11 and 13, and like I was like, what games do you play? And they listed off 10 games I'd never heard in any of our coverage ever, because there's just so many damn games. Roblox is the only one I recognize. They named like 9 other games, and I can't even remember because they were so oddball titly. I was like, we've never covered that, we've never heard of that, we've never played that. Like, just these games find their audience somewhere. You know what I mean? It's great to sell 3 million copies, but if you get a dedicated fan base of a couple 100,000 people, you can still make it very far in this industry.
Donovan, did you find the 6th game?
Yeah, so the list was Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
That's right, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Which a lot of people are saying is people are sleeping on that for best RPG of the year.
I think it's phenomenal, yeah.
Yeah, so...
deeply immersive, almost to a fault, but yeah.
They didn't reinvent turn-based gameplay, though, so...
I mean, they reinvented about everything else.
Anyway, before we go, let's talk about reinvention. Greg, remember the first time I met you?
Yeah. I have an immortalized picture of you. The first time I met you. That's me. That was me.
I met Greg at CES 2014. First year that I was here at Shacknews, first year Greg was here at Shacknews, we were at the Oculus appointment. This was back before Facebook bought Oculus. So I was trying out Crescent Bay or Crystal Cove. I can't remember.
Moon. It was something.
Crystal.
Something
I think it was
weird,
Crystal Cove, which was the Development Kit 2 prototype. It was before DK2 even shipped. And I was playing some space shooter, and I had this giant smile on my face as I was trying modern VR for the first time. But at that same CES, Greg, we went to a Valve presentation.
Oh, God.
Remember?
Yeah.
At this Valve presentation, guys, we were introduced to this thing called a Steam machine. Interesting, right? But Valve wasn't making it. It had something called Steam OS on it because at the time, Gabe Newell hated Windows 8.
Yes, he did. With good reason.
I mean, who didn't hate I hate Windows 8. So they were trying to build something on Linux, right? They were like, hey, here's this Steam OS. Big Picture, I don't even think was part of it yet. But they were like, we're going to license our software out to these OEMs. Alienware, Dell, I think HP was there. Some other like Asus or MSI. They all had these. Yeah. You remember the mini ATX cases, David? Like those very, very small form factor PCs that were being made. Mm-hmm. All these different OEMs showed off very small computers called Steam machines that, hey, you could plug into your TV and they would run Steam. Flash forward all the way to 2025. Valve has announced a Steam machine, but I've heard more people call it Gabe Cube.
I've seen that. That's pretty clever.
It is a cube-shaped PC that was engineered to fit in an entertainment system. So it's not very tall. It's very compact. Mm-hmm. It has a very intriguing thermal design. It's not the most high-end PC on Earth. It's like an entry-level PC. We didn't get actual price announced in this video. They dropped a video in the most Valve way ever. It just said Steam hardware announcement was the name of the video. And there were 3 different things that they showed. The machine is the big news, right? Because a lot of people in clickbait thumbnails are claiming that this is Valve's console. They've made a video game console. I think this is a PC that you can plug into your television, which is not unlike the PCs we saw all the way back in 2014, Greg. It's actually the exact same idea with improved software. And it was built out of this need that they detected from Steam Deck users. A lot of Steam Deck users are docking their decks with their television. So they're like, hey, what if we made a computer that you could just plug into your TV? Which, you can plug your computer into your TV right now, kids. If you have an HDMI out, you can do it. It's not illegal. So, the death of the console has been declared by several people on YouTube and a couple of blue check marks on Twitter. But yeah, we don't know what the price is. We know some of the specs. It's definitely using a similar architecture as the deck and also the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, which is an AMD chip framework. They did a lot where it's not as upgradable as a regular PC would be because of those thermal considerations. They had to solder, I think it's RAM and the processor onto the board. But you can swap out the M2, like the solid state on it. It also has an SD card slot on it. So I actually find this kind of cool. You can take the SD card slot out of the Steam machine, plug it into your deck, and play all your games. Like, you can literally carry your library around with that. So yeah, it'll have storage on the device, expandable up to, I think it's 0.5 terabyte or 2 terabyte SKUs is what they're going to offer. 16 gigs of RAM. So it's a capable PC. But it's not going to replace your desktop, David. It's not going to replace my desktop. It's not going to replace yours. It's not going to replace any of our desktops, honestly. But it's
definitely not mine, yeah.
It's a form factor for the living room is the whole point, right? And it's what I think, David. I think I can say this. 2026 will finally be The year of the Linux desktop. We did it.
You heard it here first, folks.
And here's what I think. I think Gabe Newell hates Windows 11 more than he hated Windows 8.
Do you think? Yeah, I agree with you. I think he also hates Microsoft.
Yes.
Which is funny because he used to work there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I think he really hates Microsoft. I think he hates the direction of Microsoft. I think it's funny, you hear Tim Sweeney and Gabe Newell both talking shit about Microsoft because they both hate Windows and where it's at right now. And as someone who's been using Windows 11 on my daily driver PC now for like over a month, I hate Windows 11. I hate Copilot. Get out of my fucking compute. I don't need you. I'm a creative human being that can write my own words. I don't need Copilot for anything, and they're shoving it in everything. So, like, at this time where Windows is truly bloatware, and we need an alternative PC operating system. Not just Mac, where it's tied to a hardware thing, but, like, I think this is bigger than just Steam Machine is my point. I think Steam OS might become a viable alternative for people who have PCs. Especially with what happened with Windows 10, where they dropped support for it and all this stuff. So, I think it's interesting, man. I think this is a good thing. I think it's competition for Nintendo, it's competition for Sony, and it's competition for Microsoft. And competition is a good thing for consumers. Not to mention, it's the only gaming platform now that doesn't charge you for online play. You can just play video games online. It's a computer, you know, like, does your game support online? Good news. You don't have to pay for PlayStation Network or Xbox Game Pass, whatever, or Nintendo Switch Online. Like, it just works. So I think Steam Machine's actually quite interesting. But they also announced two other things. They can't give up on Steam Controller, guys. It's
This
awful.
year it's going to be a thing. Just like the Zune. It's going to be a thing.
No. I'm putting Steam Machine on one side, Steam Controller on another. Because it's a PC, I could just plug my Xbox controller in it. That's not the end of the world to me. The Steam Controller looks horrible. I haven't held it, but it's that same... They're obsessed with touchpads. They're like, touchpads have to be on these devices because they help mimic pointer, mouse gameplay. And I'm like, that doesn't mean you need two of them. You don't need two of them. And it's embracing the worst part of the Steam Deck, Donovan. The way that those buttons are like fanned out to the very top and the side, like, it's the thing I hate the most about the Steam Deck is the controls.
And it's a shame too because the controller, the new Steam controller at least, actually has this cool thing that it uses with the puck, which is like the wireless like sensor dongle you would plug in presumably to your Steam machine or whatever. And then it's like magnetically you can just place the controller on it and it'll snap and then start charging. And I'm like, I actually kind of like that as a concept, but I just don't want this controller.
No.
I think
at all.
The idea is that you can play PC games like in your living room on a control, and you can arguably do that with a lot of games. But there are some games that it's keyboard and mouse is how it's designed, and trying to play anywhere else can be a fight. You know, it can just be a fight. So that's why they're there basically. Also for those rare occasions,
it'll have those
absolutely
benefits.
cannot have a controller.
It's just funny though. Nintendo shipped a mouse with their console.
They did.
So
Donovan got a sick mouse pad. I'm so jealous. He got that sick mouse pad.
Yeah, he's got that Metroid mouse pad. But like, it's just funny that like, you know, it was David early on. I was like, you know, the Switch 2 is kind of like a computer, right? And it's like this computer from Valve is kind of like a console. Worlds are colliding here. Sorry,
you have one more announcement, but I was going to say, I know for the Steam Machine at least, the Gabe Cube. I could see someone like Amy beating the drum for this thing because Amy she loves VR. She loves playing VR on a computer, you know, a wired headset, but she does not want a computer in the living room. It's just too big and bulky. She wants a form factor that we can fit in our entertainment center. I could see her going wild for, like, I might end up getting one just because she wants me to.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And
Nicole's the same way, David. She once in a while she wants to play like these games you can only play on PC, and like I have to take the laptop out, and it's a pain in the ass to plug the HDMI. Needs the power, and then she needs to get up because it's across the room to type in to launch the game because you can't really navigate from an Xbox controller to get to the next game. Like it's a chore.
And that goes back to the software side of things, which is Valve's strong point. SteamOS has now had 10 years in the oven, and it's quite good. Like, Donovan, you enjoy using it on Deck, right? Like, that's not the problem with Deck. the launching software. And like Steam on your PC honestly, Steam on my PC is one of my favorite applications I use on my PC. So like I think that their strong suit is still software. But yeah, to your point about VR, David, they announced a standalone VR headset called Steam Frame. It's continuing the trend of pass-through sucking ass on all these things. I don't understand why it is this way. It's black and white, the pass-through camera on it. So that's not great. So it's not really an AR device that a lot of people were expecting from them. Was going to be this convergence. Like VR and AR are converging. That's the argument being made. I think Carmax talked about it, and several other people at Oculus and other companies have talked about the convergence. You saw it with the Vision Pro. We don't know what the price of this is going to be. I think the most interesting news from the Frame announcement is that it runs on an ARM processor. So this is the first time that they have SteamOS running on a different chip architecture than AMD. And then I saw Sam Chandler in our Slack. He asked me, do I think that Valve might release SteamOS as like an alternative to Windows? I don't think so, because they would have to do all this driver support that I don't think they want to do. Where when they can make a Steam Deck, or they can make a Steam Machine, or they can make the Steam Frame, they know their specs, they can engineer their software to those specs, and they can support it. Like when Elden Ring came out for Steam Deck, it didn't run well either, because, you know, From Software has a huge problem with porting games. Valve actually went in and fixed it for them, for the deck. Like they went and they helped them optimize their game for deck. And I think that's what Nintendo is going to have to do with Switch 2 and Elden Ring as well. But Valve has shown that like when it's their platform, they will care way more about it. And I think that this is going to be a good thing for gamers. It's going to be a good thing for consumers. I already have a Steam library, so it's that portability of your library, right? That like now your library is going to live on your television.
Yeah.
If one system is going to die from this, it's the Xbox. This is the end of the Xbox.
The Steam Machine sounds a lot like what every report about what the next
Xbox is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in a world where I could either have whatever the fuck OS they're going to be running on that new Xbox, probably Windows 11, if I could have a more streamlined game dedicated OS like SteamOS, I would take that 9 times out of 10. And also, it's a PC, so I can probably dual boot it with Windows. And guess what? I can download all my Game Pass games on it. I can download all my Xbox games.
Mods are gonna have a heyday with that. That's a lot of fun for them. For me, like it's funny because you said like PC console. Like I feel like, you know, like Nintendo Switch, Sony PlayStation, Xbox, they all have their proprietary operating systems, right? None of them are Windows. And then now the Steam Deck's coming in with its own proprietary. I think the difference is you're saying is that you can install Windows on the Steam Machine and use it as a PC if you want to.
Yes.
I feel like that's the difference between consoles and PCs, is they have like a proprietary OS. You don't have to worry about drivers, you don't have to worry about compatibility, you don't have to worry about something not communicating with something because it's that one console and they know how to do it. And when Steam Deck does it, they come in and do it. Here's the 3 boxes or whatever 3 tiers of boxes. They know what's in them. They know what the specs are. They know how to make it one well. When you have a PC, there are thousands, tens of thousands of different combinations, and you run into all these problems all the time. And a lot of porters don't like. That's like we've talked to them about it. Like the hardest platform to optimize is PC because there's so many different versions of PCs. When there's consoles, there's like 2. Like they don't have to worry about.
That's been the case since the dawn of PC gaming. I mean,
Yeah. But the thing that I think Steam already has a vernacular for is deck verified, right? So they make it very clear this game is optimized for Steam Deck. They're going to do the same thing for Machine. They're going to do the same thing for Frame. Because that thing that Vision Pro actually does well, where it's like a virtual big screen in your living room, the Frame's also going to support that. So if you don't have a big-ass TV, you can play it in VR. And from what I've heard, it's a more comfortable VR headset than maybe anything else that's shipped. So I think it's interesting. You use the term proprietary with respects to Steam, and I just think that's incorrect, Greg. Like, proprietary implies that it won't work otherwise, like iOS. Like, I can't sideload another OS on my iPhone.
or whatever the OS is on PlayStation 5, right? Whatever the
Yeah,
system
whatever
uses,
you want to
yeah.
call the Sony PlayStation OS or the Microsoft Xbox OS, which is probably built on some framework of Windows, but has its own skin. I can literally dual boot the Steam machine. Like, they're going to allow for that. They allow for that on deck. You can put Windows on a deck already. It's not
encouraged. Yeah, they want you to play with it, right? They want you to do stuff with it.
Yeah, so the thing why I don't think this is the death of console gaming is this is not easy. The stuff that we're talking about doing, modding games is not something that like my mom could figure out, right? Like it's just not. I think the ease of use of a Nintendo device is still valuable to a certain group of consumers. I think PlayStation's still pretty easy to use. Xbox is still pretty easy to use. My point is about availability of software. Sony has exclusives. Nintendo has exclusives, albeit Sony exclusives are timed exclusives now. Xbox has no exclusives. There's like no reason to buy an Xbox if it's the same idea as this machine, right? If it's the same idea as the machine, and I already have a massive Steam library, and I know that they're trying to argue, oh, you know, on the Xbox ROG Ally X, you can install Steam. Okay. So your biggest selling point is that I don't have to use your store? That's weird. You know, like, that's your selling point? Meanwhile, over on Steam, it's like, here's our store. Here's a very optimized way to use your library. And by the way, you can install Epic Game Store. You can install Windows, and you can install Game Pass games on this thing, right? And oh, by the way, you can emulate whatever you want on this thing, because they don't really seem to care about that. They don't talk about it in their marketing, but it is heavily implied that you can you can emulate on this thing. I don't, do you guys know Mighty Keef at all? You ever watch his YouTube channel? He did a really good reaction video. It was like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo were having like a conference call about the Steam machine being announced, and Nintendo's all nonchalant about it. Like, yeah, I heard something about it. And they're like, you know, it can run Windows. And they're like, huh. And he's like, you know what Windows can do? Emulate games. And then Nintendo puts the Switch 2 down and it's like, this thing can run Breath of the Wild? And they're like, you gotta sue him. He's like, I got my lawyers on it. It's just, Mighty Keef's hilarious. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting take that like, Valve can't say, hey, you can emulate games on this. But, hey, you can emulate games on this thing. And that's, but once again, like, I think it's proven to be a niche.
It's a huge niche.
It's
not everyone's that techie. Yeah, not everyone's that open to modding and stuff. Yeah.
No.
They just want it to work.
They just want it to work, right? And I think in this space, I think there's room for Nintendo. I think there's room for Sony PlayStation. I think there's room for Steam Machine. I just think there's one company that there might not be room for anymore. And it's their own damn fault.
Yeah, then there were two.
No, three. Valve, Nintendo, and Sony. But like, yeah.
The interesting thing with Valve is they've gone like out of their way to communicate that this is not a console.
Yeah.
Like in their, they even had that page in the announcement. They were like ... and it's a PC, right? And then like even in their press release, the word like console never appears. It's like they're not just like staying in their lane. They've like carved out a lane where they just kind of exist in between both.
And that's why describing it to our listeners,
really
I'm like, it's a PC that is designed to be plugged into your entertainment center. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's something that Bill Gates has been trying to do since 2000, David. Like, this was the original vision of the Xbox. Like, finally coming to fruition from Valve. And that's what I think's so damn funny about it, is like, Microsoft's been trying to do this for years and failing miserably at it. And now here's an upstart company that, like, Valve didn't have to do this. There was no, like, hey, you have to do this by this day or else Gabe's shareholders are going to... There's no gun to your head at Valve. They did this because they think it's time to do this. Now, to move units, I have a suggestion for Gabe. Release Half-Life 3.
I was
just
going
That's the prevailing theory right now. The people believe that's what's happening. Yeah, that's what their goal's going to be.
Yep, hand in hand with Half-Life 3.
Just bundle it.
Usually something's there when they release
Bundling,
hardware,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a Steam machine, get Half-Life 3 first.
Would be the killer app to end killer apps. Would be huge.
It's like the one thing that could happen next year that could completely derail GTA. Like, it's the only thing.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, if they came out on the same day, I would buy Half-Life 3. There's nothing that could stop me from getting that game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Waiting for a
Steam
sequel
Machine, too.
since 2007. What's that, Donovan?
The window's open now because all these products were dated early 2026 and GTA's got delayed till November. So I mean, Valve's got like the ball's been tossed up now. Like it's in the air. They could have the greatest slam dunk we've seen in many years.
It doesn't. GTA comes out on consoles and a year later than PC, right?
That's right.
They've always done. I remember the chat just like screaming, being like, "Is it going to be on PC?" No, they've
all we've
never
known
done
is that
that.
they've
Why would they
said
do it
Xbox
now?
and PlayStation as of now.
Always
That's all we know.
console first, then PC later. That's been their thing.
But this, like,
You have to buy it twice.
obviously this is a show about Switch 2. So why I brought this up is obviously this is competition for the Switch 2, right? Switch 2 is a television console. This is a television device. But I think there's room for both. Like, I think there's room for Deck, and there's room for Switch 2. There's room for PlayStation 5, and there's room for Switch 2. I think there's room for Steam Machine, and I do think, like, it'll be interesting to see, in the case of both your wives, Greg and David, like, is this a device that, like, fits the living room more than other times? And also, like, in Japan, for instance, people don't have a lot of room in their house. So an ultra small form factor computer, I think, would be very appealing to a lot of people in Japan. And also just looking at the industrial design of the device, they thought about this a lot when it comes to the specs of the device relative to the industrial design of the device. It is designed to work in these small locations, right? And I think that's the real selling point to a lot of people. It's way easier than just dragging your tower out and putting it next to your TV. It's way easier than that. So is that ease of use going to click for people? Because I think that will be hugely disruptive. But in a true Valve sense, if this succeeds, it's going to be like the Deck, where Asus is going to come out with one, and MSI, and Lenovo, and Microsoft with, like, so it'll be interesting to see how Microsoft copies off of Gabe's paper here. Because they're going to be the first mover, right? Like, Steam is moving first. How will Microsoft copy it? And will they do anything original? Right? That's the big question I have. But yeah, I thought it was exciting news. And I think competition is good for Nintendo. Keeps them on their toes.
Yeah. I mean, I think to your point, there being room for both. I mean, there'll always be room for Nintendo just because you can only play Nintendo games on the Nintendo platform, simply. Like, no matter how cool the Steam machine is or the Deck is, like, you can't play Tears of the Kingdom on it. You can't play Mario Kart World on them. Where even PlayStation, like, I mean, PlayStation games are exclusive, but even with the PC thing, I have friends who don't own PS5s that are like, it'll come to PC eventually, though, right? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, okay, I'll wait. Like, some people are even, in those cases, are fine waiting, and then obviously Xbox stuff is day and date. So, I mean, I just don't see a world where there won't be room for a Nintendo product. As long as they're still making those games.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like a large amount of consumers that pirate software. I just don't think
it's hard to do too. Yeah.
No.
It's hard. It's dangerous. It's illegal, right? So there's a lot. There's a lot of reasons not to be a pirate, kids. But yeah, like, I don't think that, like, the original iPod was like a theft shuttle because we were in the era of Napster, right? I don't think Steam Deck is really a theft shuttle. Like, Steam Deck is like, oh, I can take my library on the go. That's a value add, right? I already had this library. It runs great on the Deck. Cool. This is an extension of the success of the Deck, and I'm here for it. But I do, the big question I have, and this is just something that I've been complaining about all year, really. I don't like products being announced without price.
Yeah. That was the one thing about this that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, you never want to do the price very last in the pitch, because if it's too high, people just check out and don't do anything else.
I just think it's super.
I checked out.
It's misleading though to consumers, Greg. You were at I think at Summer of Jeff, there was an Xbox ROG Ally X event. I don't know if you got to go to that or not. Maybe you didn't. But they announced the Xbox ROG Ally X the week that the Switch 2 came out. They didn't announce the price for like 5 months. I hate that they're having preview events for a hardware device without telling you the price. Because it creates this hype.
Marketing now. Because what you're doing right now, yeah, it creates hype.
It creates hype, but then what happens when you announce the price of the ROG Xbox Ally X, Greg? You didn't run and buy one, did you?
Wet fart. It's a wet fart noise. That's why they do it. They wait as long as they can to announce the price.
I mean, also they do it. We just don't like that they're doing it that way.
No, I'm saying it's bad. It's bad for consumers. It's a bad precedent. Like, Nintendo did a terrible job on April 2nd for announcing the price. It wasn't included in the Direct, right? I gave them shit for that because all this misinformation spread that day. But in the context of what day that was, which was Liberation Day in America, where Trump announced all those tariffs, I kind of understood, right? But like, Xbox ROG Ally X not having a price for 5 months while there were multiple preview events is bullshit. And this is also bullshit from Valve. Like, why don't you know the price? Why don't you know the price? Why aren't you telling us the price?
Hype.
But then, well, for what? So you can lead to a disappointment?
It's like you said, Asif, like, if Nintendo was in a very precarious situation where, like, it made sense, right? They were dealing with all this shit. Like, they wanted to announce when they just didn't. In that situation, it's okay not to announce price. But now it's become...
But they did!
It's become a marketing tactic.
But they did announce the price right after the Direct ended. You guys got a press release for the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 and all the games shown, right? That hour. I think what happened was the pre-production of the video of the Nintendo Direct, they didn't know. That morning of the Direct, they decided the price. I don't think that's the case here. Like, I definitely...
No, it's not. It's a marketing tactic. It's not a case here. It's a marketing tactic.
It's a shitty practice. I hate that this is becoming a trend. I hate that this is becoming a trend. It is shitty. As much as I shit on Apple, which is all the time, at least they tell you how much the fucking iPhone costs. You don't have Marquez Brownlee talking about an iPhone in an hour-long video and not telling you the price.
Yeah.
At least you know the price. Because price is a function of the value of these things. If the Steam machine costs $2,000, David, are you buying it?
No.
If it costs $1,000, you are.
Yes.
That seems valuable to know. And given the price of RAM, given the price of processors, given the price of storage right now, I'm talking from October to November 2025, RAM prices on average are up 100%. That's insane. What the fuck is this going to cost when it ships? And why don't you know? That's troubling to me.
That's what for this reason right now, because you get all these articles, all these podcasts, all these conversations about how much is too much, how much is too little, when does it come out, but the RAM, but the tariffs, and like you get all this hype and all this marketing for it for free for months, and they know that.
This isn't hype though.
It's not hype. I'm not hyping it. I'm saying this is why I'm not sure if I'm buying one or not.
Right, but it's in conversation though. It's in the news loop consistently because of this reason, right?
We're gonna talk about it anyway. It's a new Valve, the hardware device.
If they don't tell us the price, they do tell us the price. It's Valve entering a space. It's news. It's the biggest software platform for video gaming on Earth, making hardware. We were going to talk about it no matter what. I talked about the Valve Index. David, we used to have a podcast where we talked about the Valve Index like all the time. And that wasn't even, that wasn't a big market, but we knew the price. This is something different, Greg. Like, don't defend this. This PR is garbage. Yes.
No, I think it is garbage. You should tell us the price if you announce something. You shouldn't wait 6 months.
It's like,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that this is probably why they do it.
It's just shitty.
I think it's as simple as they've realized, multiple companies have realized you can do it and get away with it, so they just do it now because they can just save the bad news for like a Tuesday morning tweet or email press release and not have it in their showcase.
I'm going to keep calling them out on their bullshit every time I see it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just shitty practice. That was the one
thing from this announcement that everybody was like, well, hey, what about this thing?
What about the most important thing when making a decision about buying anything? How much it costs.
Right. I don't know if I'm going to get one at this point. Yeah.
I know for a fact I'm not getting the controller. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs. Because you know how much that the original one was selling for just like a few years ago at GameStop? You get one for like $5.
Jeez.
That thing sold like complete shit. There were a bunch of them just laying around. Like, so, yeah, I need to know I need to know the price of a product to determine the value to me. And like, to inform a purchasing decision. Otherwise, it's just a tech demo, which is fine. But when you invite press to preview something, and then the press can't tell these people what it costs, your impressions are still valuable, but at least at the end of my Switch 2 preview in April, I can be like, hey, it costs $450. Hey, this game costs $80. Hey, this game costs $70. Right? It's about informing the public. And I think it's dangerous that this is becoming a precedent. I hate that. I hate that it's become a precedent.
No, I don't agree that it's a good practice. I'm saying, but this is why people are doing it. Like, it's not. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's
no.
Like Donovan said, they think they can get away with it now. They can just do it.
They should.
Because in marketing, they teach you when you're making a sale, don't tell them the price. The price is the very last thing you tell them, and to make the sale. But like that means at the end of the conversation, not 4 weeks afterwards. And all these companies are like, oh, it's 4 months afterwards we announce we can say the price. Like,
well,
no,
it's another thing where they've divorced the announcement from the pre-order, right? Like that's another thing. Like there's a lot of things going on here. But I think it makes preview value less interesting. It makes the value of the preview content less interesting to me. Unless it's like a Gamer's Nexus where they're diving into the engineering of it. Like, that's a really solid video. Digital Foundry did a good breakdown of it. And they talked about the viability of the product. They talked about the components and what they think it'll cost. Gamer's Nexus even asked them straight up, what do you think it's going to cost? And they said, like, somewhere around what, like, a gaming laptop would cost. And that's more than $1,000, David.
That's too high.
And you
have to compete with PlayStation and Xbox. You have to, or PlayStation, arguably, and Nintendo Switch. You have to compete with PlayStation at least.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think you need to release it around $1,000. But Valve is not a company that can afford to subsidize hardware and take losses on it. They're not going to do that. They're going to sell it at break even or close to break even, right? Like maybe a slight profit. They'll make the money back on the software side. I get that.
Yeah.
But they're not going to sell something at a loss. They're not a big enough company to do that. Microsoft did that for years. Oculus does, or Meta does that with their Oculus headsets. I don't know. As someone who just wants information, I feel like this is a messy precedent. And I shit all over how Nintendo handled the messaging of price that day, but at least we knew within 10 minutes of the end of that direct what the Switch 2 cost.
Yeah, we knew before you did, and you were there, didn't we? I think we found it before you did.
I was literally asking PR. I was talking to Nintendo PR while on Discord with you guys. And usually, we got the email. And I said, did you guys just send an email? He's like, yeah.
And that's the one situation, right, where like it was delayed for a very weird reason at the time, like circumstances, right? All these
I understood yes. Why it was delayed and why it wasn't included in the direct video, but I really question I think that the way Xbox handled the ROG Xbox Ally X rollout of price was really bad. I don't think Valve will do as bad of a job at that. I do wonder if they don't know. Because if they don't know, they don't know. But they should say that they don't know.
Yeah, right. We don't know the price. I mean, they'll tell you that behind closed doors off record, right? We're not sure of the price yet. Like, they'll say that, right? That's the...
Just be like, look, computer hardware prices are volatile right now. We don't want to say something like there's a statement. There's a way to make a statement where you would make consumers at least somewhat at ease. I would prefer better messaging is all I'm saying.
But the same thing, if you're showcasing it and giving us the specs, you know what these specs cost now on market. Why are you not giving us a price? You're totally right. Like if everything is here,
I just said though, RAM is up 100% from a month ago, Greg. God knows where it's going to be in February or whenever this thing launches. That's the thing where I understand. Just tell us. Because, like, a whole other topic of discussion about why computer prices are going up, why component prices are going up. It starts with the letter A and it ends with the letter I. I'll let you guys fill in the blank. Schmeda Schmenner. But yeah, like, it's what's happening in tech right now is really interesting. I found that frustrating as part of the announcement. And yeah, I expect more transparency out of Valve, because I don't think they've ever not been transparent. They're actually quite transparent about why they do the things they do. And if you look at the access they gave outlets, like, the devs were open book about the design decisions they made. Like, David, this computer is not better than the computer you have. It's just not. So we know it's not going to cost $5,000. It's going to be, I think it's going to be between $1,000 and $2,500. I just don't know where. And that's a wide gap. I think that's like, either way, it's double the price of the Switch 2.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, there's room for all of this. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show. We went a little long. Wanted to talk about a lot of things. Like, follow, and subscribe. All those good things. And yeah, if you're listening to us on the audio podcast, give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review, or I don't know what the kids do on Spotify podcasts. I can't get the logo to update on Apple Podcasts. It's still the regular Shack logo, so I don't know if I can figure that out. But yeah, we appreciate all you for listening. Go check out Donovan's gameplay of Metroid Prime 4. We'll probably have gameplay of Kirby Air Riders going live at some point this week too. Excited for that game to come out. Didn't really get to talk about much this week, but we did talk about the test ride last week, and we had a preview episode where we talked about it too. More to talk about on that front. Another very exciting release for the Nintendo Switch 2. But I'll do it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.